Hey everyone, welcome to Black Women with Opinions, the podcast. I'm Eb.
I'm Mandy.
I'm Sia.
And this is a safe space for Black women to give their unfiltered opinions about anything and everything.
We hope you're ready for a good time.
Okay.
Hey everyone, welcome back. Yeah.
Howdy. Episode 6.
Oh,
Wow.
it's just crazy, y'all. We on episode 6.
Okay. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
We're doing a podcast, friends.
A whole podcast. Just a few minutes ago, we were just in coffee shops talking about this.
Okay, now it's a whole thing. It's a real thing.
It all started at girls' night.
Oh, it did.
A dream was born.
A dream was born, and we're doing it now. Oh man, how are you ladies feeling?
Ooh, child.
I know.
It's been a hell of a week.
Yes,
I would have to
It's
agree.
been a hell of a week.
I would have to agree. Contemplating a lot of new things.
Yeah,
Figuring out some old things.
yeah. This has been a dynamic week, that's for sure.
It has.
We've got a lot done this week with a lot of challenges.
Lots and lots of hurdles.
It's so
Oh my
funny
God.
because I know, like, as a listener, you of any podcast, or any show, you just have no idea what a person is doing behind the scenes
To get you that finished
to
product.
get to the finished product. But just know we've
Baby,
gone through some things.
We're
but-
breaking our backs over here.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
but we got there this week. I
Yes.
really think it really worked out well because I think we work well together as a team.
Yeah,
I
I
think,
agree.
and we give each other grace.
Oh,
And
yes.
But also hold each other accountable.
We
and
do,
it's
for
like,
sure.
okay, yep, there's the grace.
For
Now
sure.
accountability, we're still going to do this.
we do.
Yeah,
So-
I really love that. And
Yeah.
I'm very proud of us for being able to stay on track.
Yeah.
Because procrastination,
Baby,
you know, it's one of my best friends.
it runs in my
Yes.
blood.
It's one of my best friends.
But at the same time, I'm a sleepy bear. So, I'm procrastinating just because, honestly, I want to nap. But it's okay. It's okay. We can sleep when it's all done.
Yes, even
So,
with all of that, we still staying on track. We still putting out weekly content.
Yes.
Every
Every
single week we got a new episode. So
Yes, we are a weekly podcast, guys.
Weekly.
Weekly.
I know some
are
people have
every week.
have been checking in to ask about that. We are weekly.
Yes. We
Yeah.
drop on Thursdays at midnight.
I didn't know we were going to be weekly, remember?
Yeah,
Yes.
wasn't it bi-weekly?
It was bi-weekly at
What we were gonna
first.
do?
Yeah.
But no, we are weekly. Every Thursday at midnight. You can count on it. So
It's actually Wednesday at midnight.
That's when she said it the first time, I was like, I'm gonna let it slide.
no, don't let it slide.
It's actually Wednesday at midnight.
I'm
okay.
sorry,
Which technically
guys.
is
But Thursday, which is right.
I
So-
usually get those mixed up. So let's clarify. Since I messed up.
So Wednesday at midnight, we drop a new podcast every week.
There we
every
go.
episode, a new episode.
because we want it up for those Thursday morning
Right.
commutes.
Yes, when you're on
Correct.
your way to work, or some of these folks that's working overnight.
Yes.
We want to make sure that you have something to listen to, or even while you're cleaning your house for the weekend, you got
Okay.
something in the queue ready to play and listen to.
Yes, yes, yes,
For
yes,
sure,
yes.
for sure.
Well,
So,
you all this week, we're going to get right on into our something to sip on.
Yes.
So this week, something to sip on is with Stella Rose.
Shout out to Stella.
Some amazing wine selections with Stella. So we have Stella Berry. Sia
That's what I'm
sipping on
drinking.
Stella Berry. Mandy and I are sipping on Stella Red Apple.
It's good.
Mandy, how would you describe Stella Red Apple?
I would say that it's very light in the fruitiness of it, but it gives you that sweetness, not bitter or anything like that. Like I know Sia doesn't like the dry wines or anything like that.
Right.
It's very tangy, and I really like the bubbly flavors of it. It's very kind of playful.
Yeah.
Me too. I like that it was very light, and I think
Yeah.
it would really complement if you were hosting a brunch for your friends. I think it would be really good if you were making an apple juice sparkling
Yeah.
something. That would be really good to complement that. And then, how do you like Stella Berry, Sia?
Oh, I love Stella Berry. It's very light, very refreshing.
Yeah.
Very berry forward. It definitely has a berry taste to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's sweeter than
Oh, it definitely
the red
is.
apple. So
It definitely is.
if you are like thinking about which one to get, if you really are leaning more towards the sweet side, maybe Stella Berry's for you, but kind of right in the middle. It's not bitter at all. It's it's still a sweet wine, but it's just not as sweet as the Stella Berry, but red apple is really crisp and light. So
I agree.
Yeah.
I like it.
definitely
I
would.
enjoy.
Love it.
Yay.
Yes. So go and get you some Stella.
Go
Try
get
it
Stella.
out. Leave some comments or leave some reviews in our comments. Let us know which one
Oh, and
you
tell
like.
us what drink mixes y'all do with Stella Berry. Because remember I sent y'all
Yes,
that one
yes.
with the what it was, a brandy, a Stella brandy or
Yes.
something. So we'll be looking out for that. We
There
gonna
were
try
some
that
slushy
too.
ones we want to try. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
We would
Okay.
love to see that.
Yeah, I wanna get our little sip on. Okay,
Okay.
we about to
Yes.
it's about to get cold, so we're not going out to sip. We're gonna be
I know.
in.
Are we
to
gonna be
sip.
making
to sip.
warm drinks in the winter?
I mean, you know, hot toddy is a
That is something.
Drunk
it is
hot
a thing.
chocolate.
Listen,
Oh, I love like Bailey's stuff like that. Yeah.
Drunk hot chocolate. Look out for drunk hot chocolate.
We can see that happening
I'm
in
thinking,
our future.
December for the drunk
yeah,
hot chocolate.
we're gonna have to
Yes.
get some warm cocktails for when it gets cold outside. You don't always need something with some ice.
Yes.
So yeah,
Oh, that
get
sounds
up.
good. Oh, I like that idea.
Excited.
Yes, it just made me excited for the holidays.
They coming. They right around
I
the
know.
corner,
Oh
child.
my god, they so close.
Yeah, yeah.
If you ain't started your Christmas savings, baby, you're too late. You better hurry up.
Oh, you
No,
gotta
you're
get
not.
started.
I'm telling you, Amazon gonna be your best friend.
Yeah.
Last year I did so good last year.
Amazon is okay, but here's the thing. I don't like the rush of it at the end.
Yeah.
I want my stuff bought before Black Friday. When I go Black Friday shopping, that's for me.
That is for me.
I'm looking for, what do I want? Because I done already bought for everybody else.
Yes.
Okay.
And so that's why I'm like, now's the time, babes. You better get it together. Get your funds right.
So I'm good this year because we are doing Disney for
There you go.
Christmas.
There you go.
So
Yes.
that's kind of the big thing,
That's
the
the
big
present.
ticket. So I just got to get my little stuff, like y'all stuff, and I'm like, I don't even know what I'm getting y'all this year though.
We have some suggestions.
One of those things you'll get from me is some wine. That's for sure.
I just need y'all to know that my pockets is not overflowing. Okay, that's it. So when you come with your suggestions, make them reasonable.
Okay.
No Ferraris or Teslas will be bought by me.
You're not gonna give me a Bugatti this year? I thought I was a good
definitely
Not
friend.
in this moment.
I was
struck.
absolutely expecting a Birkin. So I'm really
I don't even think I'm anywhere near the list.
Oh, man.
So I don't know how it's gonna
Well,
feel.
disappointment.
Now, I can DH gate you. I can DH gate you. Y'all gonna look like a bag of money, but it ain't gonna
Hey,
cost
listen,
that.
that's all
that is to me.
it ain't nothing wrong with no DH
just wanna
gate,
look
baby.
like-
I love DH gate. Come on now.
Yes, come through. Listen.
Yes, I almost rather look like it and know that you have the money still in your pocket.
In my pocket, right? I can
That's
still put the
fine
stack
with me.
in my
Amen.
bag. I didn't spend it on the bag. I'm okay with that.
Because y'all know it's just very irresponsible when I see somebody who has real designer and no car.
Baby, you got Louis on the Metro.
That feels irresponsible to me.
That
You-
also
you're
feels
wearing
like
a
you're trying to get God.
You're wearing a
Yeah.
$1,200 bag, yet you don't have $1,200 in your account.
That's concerning.
That seems very irresponsible to me. I always try to live within my means.
Yes.
And I don't have a problem with having a knockoff or
at all.
Right.
or something that is not, Gucci. Maybe it's Catch. Okay, I like Catch.
Right.
Yes. Well,
Right.
I'm very fickle.
I like Chantel.
Yeah.
I'm
What's
very-
wrong with Chantel?
When
Chantel, I will get there one day,
One
but right
day.
now, Chantel is
Chantel will do.
I'm just too fickle. Like I may like it today, and then I may not like
That
it tomorrow.
part.
And then you
Yeah.
mean I spent this much money on this bag, and they're going to say that yes, you're going to get your value, and it's going to grow in price. Sometimes bags don't do that. Don't
Also, the
believe
way I
hype.
treat my stuff sometimes.
Yes, that part.
I'm gonna wear it out, and I'm not even gonna lie. When I find something that I like, and
Yeah.
that's with clothes, shoes, food.
Yeah.
If I like it, I'm
I'ma
gonna
binge
kind
it.
of wear it out.
Yeah.
Wear it
And
out.
then what? Now my Louis is all jacked up because I didn't have to wear it every day for the last 365 days. No,
It's okay.
I just get my Fooey and I can buy 3 more and it'll be just fine.
And it's fine with me.
And if you turn that close in my bag, baby, you need to make sure
Get you a life.
Get you a life.
Or
That's
buy
that
me
part.
one
Yes.
if you are that concerned.
Yeah.
Come on now.
If you really need me to have designer, sweetheart, if it's that heavy on your heart, Go ahead and buy one. I'll accept it.
And there's other options if you have to have it. There are like
I'm gonna wear it out. You go every time you see me, you gonna see it.
And I tell you too. My friend got me this.
I'm just in love.
if you want something so badly, there's pre-loved options and stuff like that. I'd
That is
rather
also
see
true.
people go with that and just have the coins in your pockets, because ain't nobody got time for that. You don't have money to put food on the table, but
We also in a recession.
And the
baby.
way that this
inflation,
inflation is inflating.
girl, and just don't seem to want to stop inflating. We just keep going up and up and up.
yeah.
My milk is like $5.
Ridiculous.
Why is my milk $5?
Child, don't even get me started on the eggs.
Ooh,
I'm gonna need to buy me a damn chicken at this point.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
who gonna have chickens in their backyard? Somebody.
Somebody,
Let's
we gonna
rock
need
paper scissors for
Okay,
it.
y'all know what? Well, somebody get a cow, somebody get a pig, somebody.
So-
We're gonna have our own farms in our backyard and barter with one another.
I was on TikTok and they said you could make your own cheese Danish like from Starbucks.
Honey, I've been watching. I've been
I'm gonna have
watching
to figure it out.
And this is how I know we're friends, because when I saw it, I said, I bet you Sia gonna make this. I said, and then I'm gonna just be able to eat it.
Okay.
Why did I say, you know what, I'm gonna make them and I'm gonna take them over there? That's exactly what I said.
Baby, because it ain't no reason for me to be spending $15 every time I go through the Starbucks
Every
drive-thru.
time.
Every time, and I want it every day.
Yes.
So
they know what they're doing.
Yeah, they do.
I said,
They know what they doing.
Let me tell you what my fat butt did this morning. I got the croissants.
Croissant.
The croissants from Walmart.
Uh-huh.
Great croissants. Cannot recommend them enough.
Yeah.
You put them in the oven 425. They are crispy, flaky. Taste like they just made them.
Okay.
Ooh.
So then, they have a cinnamon honey butter.
Yes, we
And I
girl,
got me
you
some
have
cream
talked about-
cheese. And I mixed the cinnamon honey butter with the cream cheese and piped it all over the croissant.
See,
This sounds
let
good.
me
made me
tell you
two
about my
sausages.
friend. She gonna cook. That's what
This
she gonna
sounds
do.
good.
Made 2 Bob Evans sausages with it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that sounds good.
That sounds good. That sounds good.
Baby, when I said it was delectable,
Meanwhile, my ass at Starbucks spending $17.98.
Okay.
sure didn't. Those pastries was what, $5, but it only come with 6. Now they is like $2 pastry.
That's still a better bargain than what I'm dealing with over
Yeah,
here.
because I'm
my
paying
matcha
$6
latte
for one. Okay.
with extra caramel drizzle.
I've been obsessed with the matcha latte teas lately.
They're my favorite.
It's so
because
good.
coffee doesn't agree with me the same anymore. So
Yeah, and
Matcha
sometimes I
gives me
get
the
burnt
same.
out on coffee.
Yeah.
So it's like I want to switch it up and get something else. It's so good.
I always
so
get the
good.
refreshers of the passion fruit tea lemonade. I've
Yeah.
been drinking the passion fruit tea lemonade since I was in college.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was obsessed.
they're really tasty too.
And they sell the passion fruit tea as a pre-made drink at Target. Y'all better
You
know
can
that I
really
don't
be
spend
your
all
own
this money.
barista. You can
You
be
just
your
have to
own
know
barista.
the steps.
Y'all got to do that
Yeah.
one with some Milo's lemonade. Tastes just
It's
like
good. Okay.
Honey Child.
We might have a Starbucks episode in the future.
Starbucks, don't sue us. Okay, plenty of people will still come to you.
Yes.
Girl, okay.
All right, y'all. Well, I have another. Are you the asshole?
Okay.
Let me pull it up here because we want to get some opinions on it.
Okay, we're ready
All
for
right.
some
So we're gonna tell y'all who we think the asshole is, and we want you to tell us who you think the asshole is.
Okay. Let's discuss.
Okay, so yesterday I was informed that my daughter Sam was a part of a group of students who bullied another girl to the point that she had to switch schools. There was a racial aspect to the bullying, which came as a complete shock since my wife and I truly did our best to raise our 3 kids to be kind and honest individuals. I don't believe that a grounding and a confiscation of electronics is harsh enough for what Sam did. So I told Sam that she won't be allowed to participate in homecoming or attend senior prom. I told her that she won't be getting a car for her 18th birthday either. Finally, I told her that she'll need to delete all of her social media accounts with either me or her mother watching. Sam begged me to allow her to go to senior prom because it's a once-in-a-lifetime event and keep her Instagram account because it had pictures going back years that weren't saved anywhere else. I told her that she shouldn't have been a racist bully. My parents are temporarily staying with us while their house is under renovations. They agree that what Sam did was completely out of line and must be punished, but they think that making my daughter miss homecoming and senior prom and forcing her to delete her social media is far, far too harsh. Am I the asshole? Now, And I know that I know you have some feelings on this, so why don't you go first?
Let us have them.
I got a sneak peek on this. I didn't mean to, you all, but I did. I think that, first of all, I think the parent, when I saw it, I said the parent, in my opinion, had to probably have been bullied very severely as a kid because of the severity of the punishments. I felt like that the parent really went through something and they just couldn't believe that their child was putting somebody else through this.
They felt triggered.
Yeah, completely. I personally don't think that the punishment was completely wrong. I think that I would need to know what else the child has done in the past, though, because to me it sounded like the straw that broke the camel's back. Because it was like they're taking away everything, you know, and I think that the parent probably was just done. Now, if that was not the case, if this is like just a total, this is outside your child's character, you don't think that they would usually do something like this, then I think homecoming and prom maybe take one and not both of them, just because
that's what I was kind of thinking.
Especially prom. I feel like if I was a child, I would pick prom if I had to have a choice. Because that means your child's entire school year is almost broken or taken away from them based upon something they may have done towards the beginning of the school year. They may be a totally different child by the time we get to prom. You know, they may have really totally seen the error of their ways. I think too, I would have made them really write some sort of apology or like say something apologetic to this child, and really in some sincere way, not just walk up to the kid and be like, I'm sorry. You know, really have a sincere
the child
moment.
has gone to another school, so they would have had to write a letter.
That's right. So they had to write some sort of letter or something. But I thought that the punishments, you know, bullying, kids don't see the severity of how bullying can affect other kids if they're not the kid being bullied,
right?
And I think that the parent, I mean, they know their child, and we can always say like, oh, that was too tough, that was too severe, but you don't know that child, you know, and maybe they know what will get through to their kid. You know, some kids, you take something away, they're not bothered by it at all,
right?
But you take away an experience from them like prom or homecoming, you take away all their social media. Now, I really was not mad at the taking away of the social media, and I'll tell you why. Because I feel like if a child is bullying a kid and they have gone to the child went to another school, the bullying could still be going on through social media.
A lot of time the bullying starts on social media and then escalates really to in person.
So that would have been my first punishment.
I had a different little take because I didn't want her to, like, I agree with a lot of her punishment, but I also didn't want the child to internalize her punishments and take it out on that other child.
Yeah, and be like, because you said something or whatever, now I can't do anything.
I can't do anything.
That's a good point.
And you never know what exactly the bullying was. Like, yeah, I understand it was a racial thing to it, and I'm sure that's the part that really shocked her and really made her go so hard, because she was like, you're not finna have people thinking I'm racist, so I raised you like that. I didn't raise you like that. I think that was the thing. I don't even necessarily know if the parent was bullied, but we all know that racial thing, it can go from 0 to 100. Oh, your child is like that? That's because you taught them that. Right. You know what I'm saying?
They learned it somewhere.
And they bring it in, and now she like, I'm scared for my life because you got everybody thinking that I'm somehow teaching you this at home.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't take away senior prom. However, she would be on a short leash. I wouldn't take away prom, and then I would have access to her Instagram, because little do y'all know, you taking it away, but they can go right to school and create a new one.
They have Finstas. They have all of this.
So much stuff, so much access. They be on Discord and all kinds of stuff, and they still can bully each other. Yeah. What I would do is I would get that password to that Instagram. You know what I'm saying? She may be able to have, but I'm going to have her main account, so that way anytime something popping, you know what I'm saying? It lead back to that account. Yeah. So that's what we're going to do. You're going to be on short leash. But also, I really need her to get some counseling or something.
Yeah.
I would be like, I'm not raising a child like that. And so you're going to have a lot of hoops to jump through in order to get your privileges and to do your things. And I wouldn't buy a car. I don't think I would buy a car.
No.
You can buy your own car. Since you are bullying and you can buy your own car.
That buying a car thing is a privilege anyway. I just feel like that is like, you need to be,
and it should be something that should be earned.
Yeah.
Not just expected.
Yeah. Regardless of what type of car it is, because some parents like, I didn't get them a new car. It doesn't matter. I got them something to get
that
around
type
to college.
Freedom for an 18-year-old who didn't have to work for it. It was given to them.
Yeah.
You need to work for that, especially because you're clearly not working on it in your social activities or at school. So my take is a little bit different too. I think I agree with a lot of the punishment.
Yeah,
I agree with a lot of it because bullying, especially with a racial undertone, is very, very dangerous.
Yes,
because there was actually just a case I was seeing a clip on TikTok where they were talking about 14 or 15-year-old boy invited this and his friends, but it's specifically this one child, invited this black kid to go to a lake, and they were trying to drown him in the lake.
What?
Yeah.
And stuff like that happen all the time.
All the time. And so it's like, it can be very, very dangerous, and it is not something that you should take lightly.
Yeah.
But almost to that point of like, I agree with like doing some type of counseling, but also some type of volunteer work.
Yeah.
No, you're not going to homecoming. Nope. You're not. No. Instead of going to homecoming, you're going to go volunteer at this shelter, or you're going to go serve the underprivileged. You're going to go do something productive to show your privilege.
Yep.
And to put into perspective for you what this world is really made of. Because a lot of the times when kids are bullies, they either were bullied at home, and so then they put that out on the other kids, or they don't even see the world the same way at all as a child, like you said, as the child that is being bullied.
Or they group up. Yeah, because one person is doing it, now it has this snowball effect, and a gang of y'all are doing it, which it sounds like happened.
Right, because it was a group of them.
And the other part is, I need the other kids to be some type of punished, or you have to stay away from them.
Right, because that's the thing. As the parent of one of the kids, you don't really have control of what happens to the other kids.
No.
But all I can do is control my child. You will be going on all of your social media platforms and will be making an apology to that child.
Absolutely.
Because you publicly bullied this child, you will be publicly apologizing. It will be sincere. It may not come immediately. It's going to come when you have sincere reasons and can verbalize why you are truly and immensely sorry for the damage that you have caused to this other child.
I don't want you to be just sorry because I took all your stuff away.
You're gonna have to move me before you even get the opportunity to move this person. And because that other child may never see it, but it needs to be out there that yes, I made this terrible mistake and I am so sorry. And how you are going to rectify that situation, and how we're going to make sure this doesn't happen again. Because to me, the biggest thing and the biggest lesson that can be learned here is that this was so wrong. We cannot there is no room for error again. We cannot have this again.
And see, you made a really good point about groupthink, like that when our kids get around a certain group of kids, that I feel like they just start thinking like that the majority of the group, and then you look around, your child may have never exhibited any of these qualities,
right?
And then all of a sudden you have this child that's thinking this way, acting this way. You wondering who and what this child is. So that's why I think it's so important for parents as they grow up, especially like in those teenage, preteen years, to really start looking at their friends. You know, our mamas used to be like, "That's not your friend."
Yep, girl, quick to say
and
it.
We may not believe
and little
it,
did I realize at the time, every time she said it, she was right.
Every time.
It was right. It's like, nope, that show wasn't my friend.
Yeah.
I didn't see it for another 5 years.
No.
But it was sure enough not my friend.
Another thing I probably would make them do is get on that anti-bullying. You know, a lot of the schools have started an anti-bullying group.
Yeah.
They probably would have to be the head person.
You're going to be a part of this. You're going to make sure that
I'm going to make sure.
Yeah. Because like I said, it's so that not even just what you could do to another child. Kids commit suicide every day.
Every day.
These babies are hurting.
Yes.
And it makes it even worse when it is coming from your peers who are sharing the shared experience experience with at the same time in your life. These kids coming up right now, I mean, I feel like we had dealt with some shit, but these kids right now are dealing with some shit.
A lot, because we didn't have cyberbullying.
Because social media was really
like
just...
Yeah, we didn't have
we had Bebo.
We had Bebo.
Yeah, but we didn't have access to each other like they do.
No, we didn't have messaging. We just had comments.
And like all of that.
And you barely had that. They can comment from several different pages. It's so easy to make a new page.
Yeah.
It's so easy to hide on social media now. You know what I'm saying? It's just
this avatar that nobody knows who it is.
So then, how about the flip side? How about the mass shootings? How about the people who y'all persecuting, y'all think y'all have gotten over on, who come back and everybody out?
Yeah,
that's my thing. It's like these people are being bullied, but you don't even know how long they've been bullied, like before they got to a point where they just broke or they cracked in some way. You have no idea. So this person that's bullying this person, they're like, this is when the parent found out. But how long has it been happening before then?
But they don't even have laws yet for cyberbullying, because that's how new that this phenomenon is. Bullying is not new, but the fact of being able to get to a person without anybody else knowing, like all the teachers know if y'all steady surrounding a student, the principal knows that everybody keep pushing him every time they go down the hall, whether they acknowledge it or not. You can see it in the school. Versus when they go home and they pull out their phone and they have several messages calling them a slut.
Yeah,
I can't see that, and if my child don't show me, I don't know.
And a lot of times, by the time the parent realizes what's going on, it is so far gone or it's too late.
Oh my God,
it's terrible. So that's one of the things, like the moment, and that's the other thing. Parents have to be vigilant, and I'm not blaming parents for this or anything like that, but you really have to have your eye on your child and monitor their activity and know, like you said, who they're hanging out with.
Okay,
because it is so important to try to nip that shit in the bud before it blows up.
Yeah, I hated my mama used to ask me for my phone randomly. When I was a teenager, I hated it. I would be like, what do you want? Like, why do you keep asking me for my phone? But now,
I understand.
Now, I get it. I get it. You want to see what they have going. What's on this stuff? Because I'm telling y'all, I looked at one child's phone. She a teenager. I looked at her phone. I'm like, what is all of this stuff? These messaging apps. What is all of this? I ain't never even heard of some of this stuff that
and
they
it's
are
new
on.
Stuff popping up every day.
Every single day. There's so many avenues they have to just get at other kids or other kids to get at them. That's just scary.
It is. They have way too much access, in my opinion. The children coming up now have way too much access to each other, way too much access to the internet. It's so many ways to get around parental locks and everything, and you can't even control if they seeing it on their friend's phone. They may not be able to see it on theirs because you have your stuff blocked up.
Yeah, that's the thing. But you can take her social media if you want to, and she could just be logged into a social media account on a friend's phone.
I've seen it.
Or the friends are sharing it.
Yeah.
So now there is Molly and Susie's account.
And you'll never know. So that's the thing. Like, it's very difficult to discipline in that way, but that's why you got to be, it has to be your priority. And I feel like we don't know the severity of the situation, and I think that would, for me, be determined if prom is off the table or not. Because I get it, prom, that is a big deal for a lot of kids. Some kids couldn't give a damn, but it's a lot of kids that it's like it was a big deal for us. We all went to prom together. Like, it was a big deal to be able to go and have that night and celebrate with each other. But depending on the severity, for me, that also could be off the table. And instead of going to prom, you're going to go volunteer. Or, we're going to be figuring something else out. Because I need this to hit. I need you to understand
and
that
this is the
not
age
okay.
where I'm about to send you off into the world.
Right.
And
relinquish my control.
Yeah, what I would hate for is you to go out there and get your behind whooped because now your high school antics don't work in these adult situations, because every child don't transfer school.
Right.
Some of them come back and knock your head off.
Yeah.
No, especially you talking about you coming at someone's race. Like, you don't know you gonna be bullying people. Like you can't bully adults at some point. Somebody gonna fight you back. Somebody gonna say something slick back to you.
And everybody don't fight fair.
That Montgomery.
Okay, listen.
You know
that Montgomery brawl.
Fuck around and find out.
Listen, don't make me grab my chair.
Fuck around and find out. And I would hate for you to go out here, you know, you try and bully an adult because you 18. You try and bully an adult.
Or just run across that wrong kid. That one that had just a little bit too much, and now you about to get
you
all
never
of it.
know.
You don't know what other people are going through, and so I also want to just make sure to make the point that like. Yeah, the parents are saying that like they were shocked because we've never done that. We didn't raise our children like that. We felt like we were open-minded, but also make sure to reevaluate yourself.
Yeah.
Because everybody has biases. Everybody has these thoughts that they may think that they're not passing on to their kids, but if you have them 9 times out of 10, your kids see it.
But you got to check your surroundings too. Just because you don't doesn't mean that grandpa doesn't.
Correct.
Or they go over the friend's house. Because
Right.
I'm telling you, this clumping friend mentality, or who y'all believe is y'all friend, because y'all want to be a part of the popular crew.
Yeah.
Oh, they all picking on this person, so if I pick on this person, I will also be a part of it.
Right.
You got to be able to check
all of that
with parents too. That's why I think being a parent is such. You have so much sacrifice in being a parent too, because sometimes as a parent, I think you have to look at your friends and who your children are around.
Yeah.
Because you will look up and your children will be mimicking behaviors of your friends. And it's like, I don't act like that at home. Where is my child getting it from? But they're around their auntie that's crazy and cussing and yelling at everybody all the time.
Yeah.
Or their cousin that just is explosive and goes off on everybody. You let them be with them all the time. You wonder why your child is exhibiting this explosive behavior.
And I need you to know if your child is a follower or a leader.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
and
important.
I understand that people be like, don't be a follower, don't be a follower. But we do have personalities that are follower personalities, and that's fine.
Yeah, I don't even think that there's necessarily anything wrong with having a follower type of mindset, as long as you are not following the wrong person.
Yes.
That's
my thing. When you know that your child is a follower, I need you to be able to be proactive about what they are doing and who they are doing it with. No, I need you to, if they say they're going with Molly Sue, I need you to talk to Molly Sue's mama. I need you to see how they interact. I need you to invite that child over to your home.
I plan for my house to be the house
that
everybody wants to hang out. We're gonna have snacks and all the new game systems and all of that, because I want those conversations to be had right here,
right in my house. I
need it to be right up under my nose. I cannot risk. I mean, I'm raising a black little boy.
Yes,
I cannot risk you thinking that you and your little friends is tough, or having some whatever thought it is, and me have absolutely no idea
what's going on. That way.
Can't even fathom. Like the whole thing is like the parent is saying that they're shocked, but this child is about to be 18. You shouldn't be.
But they probably are, because let me tell you,
you should be vigilant
once again. But it's hard. It's harder.
It's harder. It's not impossible.
It's not impossible, but it's harder because they have so much access to different things.
Right.
Because just because your child is prim and proper in front of you does not. My mom tell this story all the time. She was like, when I came up to the school to see you, I saw who you were at school. She was like, I told the principal, I said, not my child. And we walked over to the lunchroom. Y'all remember how lunchroom looked? And she said, I saw you bopping around, cussing, hollering, eating food off other people's plates. She said you was clowning.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, okay. She was like, you was clowning, and I was looking like.
But that's what I mean. That's being vigilant.
It is, but everybody is not.
But they should be.
They not. But she wasn't until she saw me.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's not in your mind to think that your child is performing for you.
I do. I will say that I will never be the parent that's like, oh no, not my baby, because I know
Because I'm like that though.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know that I was not the same in front of my parents that I was in front of my friends.
Which to
you know
me
what I'm
is
saying? It's a natural
it should
thing.
be exactly.
It's a natural thing.
It should be, because also like a setting with your friends, that's where you get to cut loose. Which is why I'm like, that's why I want you cutting loose right here.
Right in my house. That's why I was like, invite those children over to your home.
Yeah, but I think too it feeds into like your parents setting a boundary that you are not perfect, you know,
and that's okay.
And knowing that you're not perfect, you know, my mom is quick to tell people that Ebony's not perfect, and I love it when she says it because it cracks the form of me being this perfect idol child that's just not me. Like I'm flawed. I have a hot temper, you know, things that people don't necessarily always get to see aspects of me, but that are things that I'm working on.
Sure,
things that I know have been perfect my entire life, but it's like I'm working on those things, and other kids are working on things too as they've grown up or as they're growing up. And parents should know that their kid might not be perfect. They should hold them to that. So when this parent also shocked, they're a kid,
right?
But they also getting to know each other. I mean, getting to know themselves and each other during this time. So sometimes they fall into these situations, and everybody not equipped. And that's what I need for a parent. That's what I would say. My biggest thing: equip your child for these situations, for the peer pressure, for the group mentality. You have to prepare them for that. Like, look,
and also make yourself available to be their confidant.
Yes.
I think that if your child feels comfortable talking to you and coming to you with these situations that I'm not sure that I know how to navigate, when they feel comfortable to come to you, then you get to be the guiding force. When they know mama gonna trip, daddy gonna lose it, I can't talk to them about this, they're going to do everything in their power to hide that shit from you. And now they're seeking that information from everybody else who they shouldn't be. Because it's going to be their peers. It's going to be people who are going to steer them maybe not in the right direction.
Absolutely.
It's one funny you said that, because when you were reading this series of this one, I was thinking of like the kid that was being bullied, like if they had an advocate or somebody that they could go to. I don't know, I was just thinking about my personal story with bullying. This is what I think struck home. You know, I was a kid that was bullied, you know,
Me too.
And it was like, if I didn't have somebody I could talk to about being bullied, you know, I mean, I don't know how that situation would have went, you know, how the person I would have become, because it was like I always had a sounding board or somebody I could go to and say like, this happened today. I could cry and be like, this person talked to me, because I wasn't the kid that was combative. I didn't have the quick comebacks.
See, I was combative. I was really combative.
I didn't have the quick comebacks.
I turned into a bully.
Same. I was literally about to be like, I was bullied and then turned into a mean girl.
Baby, because
like,
I was
because I was combative. I had the mindset of like, I'm gonna definitely get your ass for you can say anything to me. Now what,
baby?
I'm gonna make sure you know that I'm not the one to be messed with on it.
And I knew I could throw hands.
So it's like
when it got done, when it got all the way done, I knew that I could throw hands. I may not have. I wasn't a joner, so after
you're not talking all that shit.
I got my quick little stuff out, and you still going. What's up?
So do we need to step outside?
What's up? We fighting or no? Yes. Because what you're not gonna do is keep calling me names.
See, I wish they would see the Ebony I am today versus the Ebony I was then. Because the Ebony then, you know, I ain't had a quick comebacks. My feelings were hurt. I didn't want to hurt anybody's feelings. But now
my feelings were hurt.
I mean,
we all gonna die today. I'm hurt. You hurt. We hurt. What's up?
We all gonna be hurt.
You be like, you need a hug. I be like, no, I don't.
I need to slap her ass. It'll make me feel better.
I don't. You hurt me. I hurt you. We're even. Balance.
And
this plays with our friend dynamic now, because y'all ain't gonna let nobody hurt my feelings too hard. I tell you that.
No.
I'm better now. But.
Well, look, if a day come you not,
I could do it with a look now.
I know.
Girl, don't. I suggest.
Excuse me.
Don't try it.
Oh man,
don't try it.
What's up?
We're like that with each other in general, though. We don't want anybody hurting anybody. Like somebody come from one of y'all, like that's when y'all see me snap. That's when y'all see me go crazy.
Problem.
What's up?
That's when I
I
go
don't really
crazy.
play like that.
I'm a lady.
I am
I'm
not
a lady
playing
all the time. But
I am not playing about my friends. I will go psycho crazy. Do not play with me. Do not play with them. I am not the 1, the 2, or the 3.
That part.
And see, that's the problem. A lot of kids don't develop friendships like that
No.
in high school.
Yeah.
It's usually a little later on in like college.
Yeah.
But I was fortunate enough to develop a few friendships in high school where I felt protected and I didn't feel like I had to fight as much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I was always down for a fight. And now that I'm older, I'm a lady all the time, but don't let it fool you.
Yeah.
She's still in there.
See, I don't like to fight, but I will.
Yeah, she's still in. I still got lots of heart.
I really am like, we can argue and yell back and forth and all of that. I don't want to have to put hands on you, but I will do that.
Yeah, because I'm too old and I feel like.
Yeah. It's in there now. It wasn't in there when I was in middle school, but it's in there now.
And don't let me have my concealed carry, baby. Look.
Let me tell you something. I am good for carrying some mace. I will pepper spray the hell out of you.
Because I don't have time.
Up. Okay, and then I'm going to.
Because people are crazy.
People are crazy.
Yeah.
And you cannot anticipate how they're going to behave.
But how about people still, we think of bullying just as like a high school, middle school, elementary school thing. It's an adult thing, too.
It's a everybody thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I still experience bullying.
Parents bully their kids. Bosses bully their employees.
Yeah.
The police bully society.
Hell, relationships you get bullied.
Yes.
Your man might bully you. Your wife might bully you. Like, people bully each other.
That's why you got to stand on your own, too. And
You have to.
You can't let anybody talk to you. You have to know your self-worth. You have to know that you bring value. And if somebody is questioning that or making you feel small, it's time for them to go. And if you gotta let them go out your space, or you gotta push them out your space, we're not trying to say always be so violent, but we're just saying like, hey, if you gotta do what you gotta do.
Sometimes violence is the answer.
I mean, hey,
sometimes it is the answer.
Because sometimes if you backed up in a corner, particularly like in a relationship, or somebody keep bullying you and pressing your buttons, and they just isolate you, you got to do what you got to do to get up out of that situation. It just is what it is.
I tend to experience a lot of bullying in work because of the way that I look.
Yes.
I experienced a lot of bullying in work. You think you're the shit. No, you think I'm the shit.
Yeah.
You don't have to talk to nobody, huh? I don't talk to you because y'all is ignorant. I didn't heard what you said.
Yeah. I'm just not going to be questioned for my intelligence. That's the only thing. And if you think that because of my race or because of my gender that I am not intelligent
or equipped to handle whatever needs to be handled,
I wish it was my intelligence. It's never my intelligence. It's always am I a slut. It's always that. It's always other women intimidated by how I look, and I must be after everybody's man.
That sounds like a personal problem.
Why?
To me.
Why I got to be? Why I got to be after everybody's man? The men can't say hello to me.
That sounds like insecurities to me.
Oh, it is, but it becomes bullying because then they click up and they be like, "Oh, we don't like her," and you like, "Why you don't like her?"
You're too old to be clicking up. Too old.
People still do it though.
I know.
Yeah, they do.
It's immaturity. It's insecurity. It's a lot of stuff when you feel like you don't look that way, or you can't look that way, or you can't do certain things that person can do.
Yeah.
Girl.
I don't know. I know to answer your question because we went on around.
Oh
the word.
yeah, look, and that's the tangent.
No, it's okay. It's all right.
Every time.
It was good though. I just want to make sure I say who is the asshole.
Yes. Do you feel like the writer, which is dad? Do you feel like dad or parents are the asshole?
No, your child is an asshole.
No, your child is the asshole, and you need to straighten out that asshole.
Yeah,
your child is definitely the asshole.
I think that you are only considered an asshole if you just let this shit slide.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
because then you are releasing another asshole out into the world for the rest of the world to deal with, and that's gonna work out one or two ways. They're gonna get their ass whooped, or they're gonna thrive because this world thrives off of being a bully and being aggressive and assertive, and not necessarily
only for a certain color people though.
Only for a certain color, and not always for a certain gender. This is a girl.
Yeah.
So, babes, I'm sorry you don't match the demographic in which this really benefits you. It'll benefit you over other groups.
Yeah,
it would. A white woman behaving like this would benefit over us.
Yeah, but
not. But when you try that shit with your male counterpart,
Well,
They're
not
gonna
only
label you.
that, because our demographic is not the sit back and settle type anymore, and we have to take it.
No.
So it's probably not going to help you anywhere, especially with cancel culture.
Well, yeah.
Girl, 'cause
cancel
they-
culture ain't real.
The reason that it is real though is because they are literally getting people fired from their jobs for certain things.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes,
and
sometimes.
that's where she is at.
Yeah.
And people of her demographic tend to get recorded and called out very fast.
Yeah.
Karen is a word for a reason.
Bye,
Yeah.
Karen.
Because Ken ain't getting it, and we ain't definitely gonna get it. But they will record you, put you up on the
Yeah,
internet, find
that's
your
true.
place of work,
That's true.
find your college, because they
Because
get
I'm one of the
kicked out
people.
of college.
I'm one of the people that's calling. I just want you to know, if you lost your job, I definitely sent an email.
Yeah, they get kicked out of college too, though,
Yeah.
for like doing
Yeah.
blackface
As
and
they should.
all of this different stuff is not the same. It's not the same environment as it once was.
No, but
No.
that's
So-
the very few. Because for every one that gets caught, it's about 50 that's not.
It is, but I'm telling you, with this like social media, because
She may be the one though.
She may be the
may-
one.
I
She
went
may be
down
the
the
one.
TikTok rabbit hole once again, and they have so many freaking videos of Karens and baby Karens.
Oh, I follow a few Karen pages because
Yes,
it's fun
I'm
to
like-
watch.
I'm like, nah.
It's like, ooh, Karen,
It ain't-
you about to lose your job.
It ain't as oblivious as you know what I'm saying.
And
Like,
if what
you
she
like,
already
oh,
did
okay.
was I mean, it was awful regardless. But if it had such severity, I'm I would be curious to think that she could possibly become a Karen.
I mean,
Sorry.
No, she's definitely on her way to becoming a
She
Karen.
has
She's like a Karen.
But her
She has
daddy
the
said, "I'm gonna put my foot in
prerequisites.
her ass," and I bet she won't do that shit.
Yeah.
and you know what else is very
I'm okay
concerning
with that.
about this letter is that the fact that the grandparents are like, no,
No,
don't do that.
That's where I'm thinking
It's
the influence
too-
is coming
it's-
from.
she's
That's why I said you have
fine.
to
But you
watch
don't
their
know.
Because
surroundings.
that is norm. What do you mean? It's not a big deal.
That's
It's
why
normal
I'm saying.
behavior.
Well,
I really think you got to watch their surroundings though.
They
Because
said they agree that it was completely out of line, but it was too
her
harsh.
punishment was too
but
harsh.
see, they don't. But they didn't. He didn't explain what part of the punishment, because he did a lot. He took away all her social media.
He did have a
He
roster.
said she's not getting a
He had a
car.
list.
Yeah.
She not going to homecoming. You know what I'm saying? And he probably was like, and you going to school and coming home.
Yeah.
You know, he probably cut out everything on her.
well, you got to think of social media as kids' lives now. So if he took away TikTok, Instagram,
You know-
Facebook, what does this baby
You better
have?
give that girl a flip phone and
Yeah.
tell her
Yeah,
to figure that shit out.
He like putting her on lockdown.
box.
Well, that's what it sounded like from his letter. He was
Yeah.
like, everything goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything goes. I don't care. He may even be like, she can't even get her hair done. I think he would be that far.
Yeah.
Well, that's how it sounds. It sounds like he is.
I hear what you're saying. I just still think what I'm thinking about from the fact that it was grandparents that said it and knowing that generation.
That's what I'm saying is that
It feels
It's that
like
surroundings.
it's not that big of a deal. It's not that severe when the complete opposite is what we should all be pushing. It is that big of a deal. It is that severe.
it's twofold, right? Because it's like the grandparents, grandparents gonna be a grandparent. They're always gonna try to
Yeah,
find
so
the
I
soft
think
side.
that was a part of it too. Is I'm a grandparent. Can we not take away everything? Like it's completely bad. It's
I
out of
understand
line.
both sides. I
Can you
think
not
that's the
take it?
ambiguity of it. We won't really
Yeah,
ever
no,
know.
I wish that he would have told us exactly
I wish
how
you
they
would've told
felt.
us what the situation was, because I
Right.
feel like
Yeah.
that also
Yeah.
would give me a little bit more clarity on exactly how I feel on this particular situation.
Yeah, because the racial part is the really scary part for me.
Yeah.
It's not just the bullying, because a lot of bullying goes on. You know what I mean? And some children you can't say anything to without them being like, okay, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. You
Yeah.
know, I'm depressed. I'm done. Everybody hates me at home. Everybody hates me at school. I hate that I don't know the other child's what they actually went through.
Yeah.
You know what I
That
mean?
would add more context, because the grandparents, they could be loving grandparents that just really want to get their child of a little softer punishment, or they could be racist bigots. We will never
Well,
know.
and it could also be a combination of the two, and
Yeah.
because that's why I'm just like, the fact that it's the grandparents that are saying that it's too harsh, and there is the racial aspect. That's immediately where my mind goes.
Right.
Yeah.
That come on, she should be able to do these things. But when I think about it, it's like, well, that child that you bullied so bad that she had to leave the district, she's not going to be able to go to that prom with her friends.
Right.
She's not going to be able to go to homecoming. She's probably not on social media anymore, or if she is, it's a very tight circle of people that she's following because of the bullying that you and your friends did.
Yep.
So if she cannot enjoy these very normal teenage things, why should you be able to do it?
But you know what else might be a factor too? Do you know how sometimes you contact the school and tell them that something is going on and they refuse to do something about it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, which could be another reason that they just pulled their child from that school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I really want more.
And that, yes, because to that point, in that situation, yeah, the school should have some repercussions for bullying, period, point blank. But the real punishment comes from your parents, because I remember my mama telling me that if I got into a fight because somebody swung on me first while you suspended, we going to Six Flags, we going to get pizza, and so for me it was just like, well, I'm not in trouble at home, so y'all over there at the school, fine, I just got an extra day for my weekend, like it's not no big deal. It has to be consistent, and that is a thing that I feel like that is one of the things that I feel like the school system has failed our kids at. And it's not just this generation. I feel like they did that for us, because I know that there were kids that reported things that it went on deaf ears. Nothing ever happened because schools are underfunded, teachers are already overwhelmed, and don't have enough access to be able to care for the kids that they have in their class to do what their job is, which is to educate them, not to babysit them or to teach them how to be good people, even though that's what they end up doing. That is the job of the parents, but they are the ones that have access to your kids all day, and they have limited resources, and so they pour into what they can, but there are a lot of children that fall between the cracks. And I think that our school districts, a lot of them have failed the kids for generations.
Well, and that's also a part, that parent aspect as well, because like you just got done saying, your mom didn't care if you got suspended for defending yourself.
Right. It was always defending
yourself. But some people don't care if their kid is in trouble in general.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like if somebody said you did something wrong, then you're wrong, and that's not right either.
Yeah, like it's really, because I find it that it doesn't seem like they get punishments for the things that they do. Like you have F's, but you're still able to come to school and clown with the teacher.
Child.
What?
Honey, I would. Ooh.
What? Your mama should be up there every day. You know what I'm saying? In your behind.
I wouldn't be able to breathe.
Okay.
Just the anxiety in my body right now thinking about a teacher calling my mama.
Girl, the air just left my body. What are you talking about?
Child, no, count me
Mom
out.
told me she'd bury me in the backyard so many times during high school.
My mama's threat was always that if you embarrass me by clowning up at that school, I'ma come up there with some rollers in my head and my house shoes on and my night clothes, and I'ma come up there and I'ma sit next to you in all your classes, and I'm embarrassed the hell out of you too. If you go up there and act like you don't know how to act. Just the threat was all the hell I needed.
Girl.
Because I don't want that. I don't have time
Mom
for that.
be like, you act like a clown, I'm gonna treat you like a clown. I'm like,
I don't
what
want
that mean?
Yeah.
Do it and find out.
See,
I'm like, girl,
I don't think I want to find
I
out.
want to find
No,
out.
I don't want to find out.
I don't want to know.
I don't want to find out. I don't even want to know. So
She had a lot of punishments that I just didn't know what they meant.
And also not spicy enough to push the envelope in front.
Oh no, I was never that girl. I was never that girl. I was never gonna push it too far. I always had
I would never do that.
I knew where the line was.
Yeah,
and I would take a good step back from the line, and that was kind of my safe spot.
I always toted the line, but I never kind of went over. I knew what enough was enough.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah,
she's done.
She's gonna kill me for this, so let me stop.
But see, kids nowadays don't have a line. This parent though, he drew a line, honey. He drew a line.
I'm proud of him.
An outline.
Baby, he cut the line.
I'm proud
and said,
of
now
him.
jump if you want to.
I'm proud of him. It sounded like he shut it down. Like he had more punishments than even he said to us. So that's why I was kind of like,
and there's
I
a
don't
lot
know.
of parents that are not.
Yeah.
There's a lot that would be that, or would even threaten it and then be like, okay, never mind. And that all that teaches them is that you
a parent who does not follow through.
Because kids need that. They need the consistency. Otherwise, they know that they can just play
structure.
Yes.
My mama had so much structure for us. Like, she may not have had the best discipline for us, but she had you knew that is A's, B's, and maybe a C, and you better be struggling
Mm-hmm.
in
To
that.
bring
You
that
know what
up.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
You better be struggling.
There
You
better be a big lack of understanding or something.
where
Yeah.
have
You going to
a C.
tutoring?
Yeah, like,
You asking
what's
if you can
up?
retake tests?
Yeah.
Yeah, my
but-
daddy used to be like, "I'll pay you for your good grades, so and you supposed to do them." And I'm like, okay,
Yeah. But kids nowadays, so
Yeah.
they do too much. They don't be focused on the curriculum enough for me. I'm like, how y'all got all this time? How do y'all have all this time to bully each other? Really?
Yeah.
too much time. They
That's
obviously
because
are paying attention.
they're passing them on regardless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
They gotta truly fail for them to not pass them to the next.
yeah. You got to try hard not to.
Yeah, I don't know.
But anyways, and yet another tangent. Views. I think we kind of have a consensus here that dad is not the asshole.
No.
And that the child is an asshole.
Yep.
Yes.
In the making, and hopefully that they can be a recovering asshole. Because daddy sound like he got this
I really hope so.
lockdown. Yeah.
I really hope so.
I would hate to hear about this on TikTok.
Yeah, he took
Okay.
daddy boot camp to the
He said,
extreme.
hell no.
I'm okay with it though, because
Yes.
please make it a firm boundary.
It needs to
that
be.
this is not okay.
It's not acceptable. We're
you
not
will
taking
not
it.
be a racist.
Yeah.
You won't.
You could be a whole lot of shit. That ain't one of them.
But you're not gonna be this in my
Especially
house.
because he made it very clear. Like, we have tried.
Yeah.
We do not bring that into our house, and I understand that because it's a
Well, you have to remember that you're not your only child's influence.
yeah, but it's a hot top. It's a hot thing out here.
Yeah.
With racism, whether it's real or not, are you participating in it? No,
I know. My body automatically eye rolls with that type of, when those words come together in that type of sentence. I can't help it.
Yeah, well, for the palm colored people, is a real thing, honey. They
Yeah.
got to watch how they do things.
They have
You
to.
got to watch how you do it and what you say.
And if you don't,
God, what's his name? I love him. I love him so much. What's his name?
I can't think of it right now.
Oh my God.
They can't.
What's the councilman? He cracks me up.
You better watch.
His name is fleeting right now, but man, yeah. I watch his videos all the time. Anyways.
Okay, y'all.
Yeah, sorry.
Let's go and wrap this on up.
So, yes.
Daddy, you're not the asshole.
Yeah, nope.
Hopefully, we can get a reformed asshole. Though.
Yeah. We would love also an update.
Yes.
I would, if you want to provide some more information, we would love to know a little bit more.
we would love to see how the school year ended up. That's for sure.
Yeah, because homecoming, where we at? Homecoming?
We're at homecoming now.
Homecoming is that time of year.
Yeah, it's the fall. Mhm.
Yeah.
So got a long way to go to prom.
Yeah, girl.
She better straighten up and fly right. Maybe you could get on Daddy good side.
You need to have the most diverse group of friends. No, don't do that.
No,
Don't do that.
She's not ready
Don't
for that.
drag me into your
Don't do that.
nonsense.
Also, I don't even know why I said that, because I hate when people try to use their proximity to other ethnic groups as the reason why they can't be racist. That's not true.
It's okay.
That's not a
Please
thing.
get on.
That's not a
Please.
thing.
I got black friends.
What the hell do that
Get
mean?
your palm colored ass out
Does
my
that
face.
mean that you are not racist? Because I know people who have black children and are still racist. Child,
we were just reflecting on how unhinged our 20s were.
Ooh, child, could write a book.
Versus these good refined 30s.
Yes.
So, lady,
Yes.
Yes.
can we talk about the lessons we've learned
Yes.
from our 20s now walking into grown woman 30s?
Grown woman 30s. First of all, can I just say that in my 20s, I thought I was a grown woman.
Yes, ma'am.
Wrong.
Yep.
Very wrong.
Yep.
Was barely even there.
Baby, didn't know nothing about nothing.
Fighting
and just
for my life.
would not listen to nobody. What do you mean? I
my
know.
God.
I already know how to do this.
my God.
I got this. No, you don't. Baby, if I could talk to her, baby, you don't got it.
No.
You don't know. You ain't lived. You don't know nothing about this. Listen to the people who are trying to help you,
Yes.
because you're going to struggle real bad if you don't.
Yes.
Yeah. So I
I was
think,
definitely guilty of that.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was unhinged.
Child.
Yeah.
When I tell you, there are stories that I am not able to repeat
Yeah.
Yes.
For
for
sure.
multiple reasons.
For sure.
Legality.
For sure.
Yes.
I don't remember. Somebody had to tell me the story.
Yeah.
You know, like
And-
embarrassment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will take it to my grave. If you wasn't there, you'll never know.
Yeah. Like I told you that one time when I was in college and I was in the middle of the street waiting on my friend.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
If y'all want to know, it's gonna be on Patreon.
Okay. I some of my college friends, we have a night that we call Bad Friday.
Oh my!
It was a bad Friday. There was a lot of Four Locos, the original formula.
God.
Oh no.
Okay, before they made the change. A lot of Four Locos and a big old bottle of Goose. So there was it was a time, and it was definitely something you just had to be there for. We're not sharing that.
Yeah.
Okay. What would you tell your 20-something self?
I would tell her to enjoy the 20s. I think I spent a lot of my 20s worried about not being far enough along.
Yeah.
Not having everything put together, quote unquote, because what does that even really mean, right?
Girl, nothing. We made that up.
We made that up. Society told us you're supposed to have all of these things. You're supposed to be here in your life at this certain point. And it's just like, well, what if, but I would just tell her, slow down, enjoy this time, because you don't get this time back. Right.
Yeah.
That time when you're in college and you don't have all of these responsibilities, ain't no babies you taking care of, ain't no man that you got to answer to, like none of that. You don't have none of that. Enjoy this. Not that part won't be great.
Yeah.
But I think that I was so anxious to have that part that I really took advantage of the freedom and the individuality that I had. Like that's the time where you get to build yourself up and figure yourself out. And I did that, but more so because I couldn't have what I thought I wanted, right?
Yeah.
So I would just say, take your time, baby. Enjoy where you are right now. Life is a process. It's a journey. It's not a destination. It's, the goal is to enjoy the ride. So just enjoy each part of it. And that part, I do feel like I kind of spent a lot of my time anxious, worried about where I'm going to be. How am I going to get to where I want to be? Where instead it's just like, enjoy where you are right now.
Yeah.
Okay?
I feel that. Okay. All right.
I think mine will align really well with yours too, Mandy. I just feel like I would tell myself that God didn't forget about you.
Yeah.
And that his alignment and timing is always right. You know, I felt like I was just in school so much and focusing on that. That I felt like I wasn't reaping the rewards of being in school and like studying so hard, and I wanted this, job with the top corner office straight when I, graduated with my undergrad, and that wasn't happening for me. So I just felt like I wasn't reaping all this time I put in, and I was just a little upset with how things were panning out. But all those jobs that led to the career that I have now, it's a blessing to have that experience. So I would tell my 20-year-old self, soak up the experience and don't be upset with the journey. Know that God didn't forget about you, that it's all gonna align, life is gonna line up. You're gonna have so many blessings that hit you like right in the brick of your 30s. But you just have to wait for God's time. So many times, especially like in that 20-something, there's so many things that is just such a dynamic time. You're either getting into your career, you're in school, you're getting your first place, you're getting maybe your first car. Just so many firsts are happening that you just feel like, at least I feel like that time and everything wasn't lining up the way I wanted it to. So I was failing, and that really just hit me now when I really think back about my 20s. I was grinding hard. I remember being at work doing homework for my master's program at work. I'm not even, my first job straight out of school was Hertz Rental Car. I was renting cars in a power suit, writing the paper, doing inventory, going back to computer, writing a few more sentences, just hustling, trying to get things done. So I don't know. That's what I would say. That God didn't forget about me, and things are going to align. Everything going to work out.
Yeah. What about you, Sia?
I actually get to talk to a lot of women in their 20-year-olds, so I think about this often. And I usually tell them, as I would tell myself, I'm like, your 20s is a time to get to know yourself. Your 20s is a time to go through metamorphosis, because from 21 I was a different person at 25, so I'm a different person at 30, and it was all, I would tell myself to slow down. I would be like, slow down, you gonna be an adult for the rest of your life, slow down. It's fine. I know this doesn't feel right, or this feels like it's always something. I would tell myself, slow down, get to know you, enjoy you, enjoy the experience, take everything as an experience. Don't put so much pressure on yourself to try and live up to other people.
Yeah.
Because I would look around and I'd be like, well, this person's doing this and this person's doing that, and I'm still not doing that. And it felt some type of way in that time. Now I'd be like, go ahead, girl, go ahead, guy, you know, whatever. I don't really I don't compare myself to other people.
You see the individual journey as it is.
Yes, because it's a journey. It's a journey. I tell everybody, don't rush into relationships. Don't rush into children. Don't rush into all of those really adult for real,
life changing, life altering things. Yeah.
Because that's what I figured. You know, coming up to 30 now, in 30s, I'm like, here go the adult stuff.
Yeah.
Here's the stuff that I thought that we were going to be dealing with in our 20s.
No. And thank God I wouldn't. I was not prepared.
Okay.
I was not prepared.
Okay.
Yeah.
I went through a whole metamorphosis at 30. I was like, where did this person come from?
Who are you? Who's she?
Where I woke up and looked in the mirror and I was like, maybe you're a different girl.
To me, it almost felt like a shedding. You know, like when like a snake sheds its skin. Like it was just like, man, like not I was leaving the 20s behind totally. I mean, but I still felt like I was just, you know, changing and morphing into someone new.
Yeah, for sure.
I felt like I left behind, you know, you do away with childish things. I felt like I left behind a lot of my immature thinking processes and how I would handle certain situations. There was a lot of things that I used to shy away from. And as I started to grow and realize that type of mentality was not serving me, I started to be more assertive in those areas and be like, okay, nope, not necessarily confrontational, but we're going to attack this problem head on. I'm not going to hide away from it because I know what that gets me, and that's not where it doesn't serve me. It causes more issues, more anxiety, more trouble down the line instead of let's just figure this out this way right now. So I think that I also, for me, and it's not necessarily a lesson that I have mastered, but I think I've definitely come leaps and bounds in figuring out my thoughts and my opinions and not being so concerned what other people think of me.
That part.
Yes.
Because what you think of me is really your problem.
Okay?
Yes.
It really
it's what
is.
I think of me.
Mandy, I am just like I'm 30, but I'm like I really am just getting to a place of comfortability with that.
Yeah, same.
And it feels so good.
It's liberating.
It's free.
It
yes.
is. I used to really fear 30. You know, you used to be like, that's old.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And I thought I was going to be somebody else at 30.
Oh, girl.
I thought, you talking about power suits. I thought I was going to be running around owning somebody's company.
Yes,
I was going to be doing so much. I just thought I was going to have a different lifestyle. You know what I mean?
Same.
And I feel like I've just now kind of got the maturity to put that into perspective. Like I just started taking accountability for things that I did in my 20s that did not set me up for my 30s.
That part.
Just start taking the accountability for it. Like, oh, well, I didn't have this and this person didn't say this, so that's why I'm here. And now I'm kind of like, Chrissy, you gonna cry about it? You gonna blame everybody else, or you gonna get up?
Because after you cry about it and complain about it, you're still gonna be in a situation. So how you gonna figure out?
You're still there. Are you gonna sit in the same places and do another 10 years like that?
That's real.
Absolutely not.
It's so many people still doing it too, just sitting and soaking in their, you know, what their circumstances of their 20s.
The lack thereof.
Yeah, and nobody's gonna move but you. You're gonna look around and you're still gonna be soaking in your 30s, and then you're gonna be at your 40s. That's
Let me tell you something my dad used to tell me. He used to be like, you could be mad at your mama, you could be mad at me, you could be mad at your grandma, you could be mad at whoever you want to be mad at, but at the end of the day, you the only person who gotta live your life.
That's right.
I'm gonna have my house, she gonna have her house. We all gonna continue to thrive and move forward, and you gonna live your life whatever that looks like, whatever you put into it, whatever you have done for your life, that is the life you're gonna live.
Right.
And I used to be like, what? And now I really understand what those words meant.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That it's like, yeah, you maybe have done wrong. Maybe we didn't do this as well as we could have. But the end result is where you are now, and now you get to take the baton and you have to lead it the way that you want to see. You know, it's a hard pill to swallow when you realize that regardless of who did what to you, where you are is because you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Your decisions.
And the only way to get to where you want to be is you.
Yep.
Yeah.
It can't always be mama and daddy and auntie and teacher and boss and all of that. You you have to be the one, be the pacemaker for your life. You have to be the one that puts things into perspective for yourself and set yourself up. Because the way I look at it is, no, am I at where I thought I would be in my 30s when I was in my 20s? There are some areas, yes, but there are a lot of areas, no.
Yeah.
So if I really want to be where I'm thinking now, where I want to be in my 40s, I cannot make the same mistakes I did a decade ago.
Come on.
Because insanity is repeating the same thing and expecting different results. And I've learned those lessons already. Now it's time to apply them.
It's the accountability is such a hard thing.
It is hard.
It was so hard for me to come from under feeling like there was lacking in my life. You know what I mean? Like, if I just had this, I would be further. If somebody had just done this for me, it would be further, instead of getting my butt down and grinding it out and figuring out how to get the things that I needed and wanted without relying and depending on other people. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like the accountability was hard.
It's huge. And also not putting such big expectations on these things that happen in life. Because I remember in my 20s just being like, I want to be married and I want to have a kid and I want to have a house and all of that. And now I have those things, and they're literally all responsibilities and all things that I have to work on and stressors that I have that I did not have in my 20s. I did not realize the freedom that I had in not having them. And not saying that I regret it, it's beautiful, but you only see the picture perfect, the pretty sparkly side of it when you're imagining these things, and you don't see the late nights and the crying and the arguments, or now we got double the bills and all of that. You're not thinking about it that way. Nope. You're just thinking about these milestones that, this person has that, so I need to make sure that that's something that I have by this age, which is just, it's ridiculous, because we're moving at different paces, at different avenues of our life, and comparison is the work of the devil. Like, I just truly believe that. It is, because you will never be able to be happy for yourself, because you're always looking at the next person like, look what they have that I don't have. Instead of looking at what you have that makes you happy. X everybody else out. I compare myself to me.
I'm my only competition.
Each year around my birthday, I try to reflect on the things that I've accomplished that past year, where I am this year moving forward that I was not at the year before, and where I want to see myself at the next birthday.
Well, I think you just said something so important. Reflection is so important as you're transitioning into those different ages. You know, sometimes we're just living life on autopilot mode, and we're not taking a moment to sit and reflect on our wins, on the things we went through, how we can be better, to hold ourselves accountable. And something that I didn't do in my 20s that I now do in my 30s, I require discipline of myself. So I didn't discipline myself. Just being unhinged. Being unhinged, particularly around, I think I've always been a good person around my finances, but like now where I'm at with my finances,
more structure,
just more structure, and really like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I still, if I see something nice, I'm gonna buy it. I like nice things. You know? But at the same time, just really setting parameters, knowing I need to
how important a budget is. I really do.
That used to be something that would offend me.
I did. I was like, I work so I could spend my money how I want. And I'm like, girl,
that was something that I learned.
Please, girl.
That was a lesson that I learned when I met my husband, because in my household growing up, we didn't talk about money. Like, that was just not a big conversation that we had. We didn't do, like, I think the most conversation about money was like, I ain't got it, I'm broke, I ain't got it. Like, that's it, so sorry. Or, like personal finance class in high school, which was, we were still learning how to write checks. And I'm just saying that just was not super useful information.
It should have been an ongoing thing.
It should have been
evolved with
from
us.
young, like elementary school, and just the same way you have math and science and what all of the other subjects. Finances should be something, because that is one thing I may never need to know anything on the periodic table after I take this test, but I'm for damn sure going to need to know how to file my taxes every year, and how to make a budget, and how to pay my bills, and all of that, and make sure that I'm not living above my means. So I agree that is something that should be a continuous learning thing for people.
Another class that should go hand in hand with that, home economics.
Life skills.
You should know how to buy groceries
Yeah.
and put them in a budget,
Yeah.
so that you are not eating out every night
Yeah.
and blowing your complete budget, and now it's rent, and you're like,
I'm short. What am I gonna
I gotta do some overtime.
I gotta
Mama,
pay
can you
bills.
help me?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
you are, at a deficit because you just don't have all the tools, because they go hand in hand.
They do.
If you eat out every day and you don't know how to cook, baby, your budget's gonna be blown unless you making enough money
to afford that.
And really, nobody is. You know what I mean?
I mean, and honestly, the way inflation goes, shit, the same.
Yeah, and that's
I
what
go
I
to
mean.
grocery
I'm
store
like-
or go to rallies, and I'm still.
Yeah, you still spending the same
same
thing,
amount.
except when you go to the grocery store, you have leftovers.
Right,
yes.
You also are able to get snacks on top
Yeah.
of not just one meal.
Right.
Yeah.
But of course, we don't know all of that because we don't have the.
Yeah.
Y'all don't put it in the curriculum. I need it in the curriculum.
I
as
feel
well.
like now, though, particularly when we were younger, and YouTube and all these things were just coming to be, there
Yeah.
weren't like these resources out there.
Yes.
But now I feel like if you want it, you can go grab it. You can educate
That's
yourself
true.
so much. There's
YouTube
so
University
you
is
can,
real.
but
You
you're
can.
talking about when we talking about that stuff. You want it from a young age,
Yeah.
And there's not many 17-year-olds that I know who are like, let me go learn how to cook, unless that's an interest for them,
Right,
And
yeah.
then you don't have it at school for it to be an interest either, where they get their first taste of,
I do like this. Now,
No.
there are some opportunities, like, in junior and senior year, I went to technical school half a day. So I had like my regular gen ed classes, and then we went to another school. And so there were some classes that were like that. Like there was a culinary class. The program that I did was early childhood education. There are opportunities out
Yep.
there, and some schools do offer that, but it's not something in the regular curriculum. I had to
No.
apply for that
No.
school.
Yeah.
I had to go tour for that school. Like it wasn't, you know what I mean? Like I had to
Yeah.
get my
and
parents
if
on board for
and
that.
if you are not the type of child to ask for what you need,
Right.
Yeah.
or if you are not the type of child to kind of stand up and be
And be like, I think I wanna do something different.
Yeah, because it can be a scary topic too.
Yeah.
Even in your 20s, thinking about
What you want.
pivoting careers
Yeah.
or pivoting jobs or what you want to do, dropping the ball and not actually being on that timeline that we all set for ourselves, because we set one coming out of high school, like, oh, I need to be married by 25.
That part.
I need to have a Bentley by 26, and it's like,
But those are things I'm working on too in my 30s, is letting some of the things I want in my 20s to die. It's like, it's okay for those things to I'm a different person
Yeah.
now that I'm in my 30s, and some of the things I wanted in my 20s or
You don't.
as
It's
a
okay to
teenager,
reevaluate.
I don't want those things anymore.
Half of them I
Yeah.
don't really want, because I wanted them because
Everybody, because it's like, do you also have to have that inner conversation with yourself? Is like, do I want this, or is society telling me that I should want this?
Yes.
Is this a thing that I really, really want, or do I just feel like I'm supposed to have it?
yeah, like I'm
Yeah.
not super into being a millionaire.
No.
I don't really think that I want to be a millionaire.
Girl, I think I would
wanna
get in
have,
trouble if I had that type of money.
$300,000 to $500,000 a year coming in,
Yeah.
and that would be
Comfortable
perfect for me.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm more on a modest type of girl, and some people probably like $300,000 to $500,000.
That-
But
yeah.
I mean, in the grand scheme of things, when you're talking about people who are millionaires and we are all striving to be a millionaire, I don't really think I want
No.
millionaire status. I think
No.
I would be good.
I am absolutely perfectly fine with just living a life where I can live comfortably.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily know what that number is, but just something where I don't want to have to call the bank or log into the app before I go grocery shopping and
Yeah.
figure out. And not to say that like there shouldn't be a budget or anything. You
Yeah,
can't ball
yeah,
out or
yeah.
whatever every time on everything, but just to be comfortable enough to not have to be, this extra building came up, so now we're going to have to pinch pennies.
Yeah.
That's kind of more so I want to be able to I want to put my bills on auto pay.
Yes.
Amen. Ain't that the goal?
I want to put all my bills on auto pay.
That's the goal.
I mean, I'm about 80% there.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
it's a good feeling. But I teach a mentorship class about finances, and with kids, teenagers, it is so enlightening. In my last class, I actually had some adults sit in on the class, and they were like mind blown. They were just like, and it's not to toot my horn. They were like, I've never seen budgets broken, and they were adults.
Yep.
They
Yeah.
had never seen
Because it's
a
not
budget.
taught.
A lot of people don't live off a budget.
No, and
No.
the kids, they were just like, so I can't have this and that too.
No, baby.
No, I had them pick a career that they wanted, because so many times we don't face the realities about careers when we are growing up in our 20s.
I don't feel like they make them do papers about careers.
No, we wanted to be a musician, and now, you know, we want to be a musician, and we think we're going to make $200,000 out the gate.
That could be $20,000 on a good year.
Yeah, you just have to be real with kids about that.
For the year.
Yeah, you have to teach your kids and teens to be real about that. And to know that it's not always going to be this huge absorbent amount of money. How can they make that work? How can you make that work as a teenager?
That's another thing I learned in my 20s, though, that things are work. Nobody gets anything besides the lottery. Nobody gets anything for free. Nobody gets anything without working for it.
Yeah.
That is the rule.
Well,
the exceptions are people who are born into it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And people who have an excess of money, which is a 1%. That is why that is a 1% of the population. So that means most of the population is working for everything that they have.
Yep.
That's it. They work. Even the millionaires, they will tell you, I work. I'm up early. I have several businesses that I own. I have to go here, and here.
And millionaires have budgets, and they have savings accounts.
And the people that I know that are the most wealthy, because I know some people that got some coins.
Yep.
They are some of the cheapest people. And the most frugal people I have ever met. Baby, I know you can afford this. Why we got to split the sandwich? I don't understand. But that is that mindset of like that. It's like, okay, I got the money. That don't mean I need to spend it. Whereas I know a lot of people who don't have the money, and they are more, myself included sometimes, are more than willing to go ahead and swipe that card and get that thing because it's that instant gratification.
And how about they spend it on what they want
and
not what they need.
Yeah.
They spend it on what they want. So you may see them in raggedy shorts and you like, why do you have raggedy shorts on, but he got a Bentley outside?
Right.
Yeah.
But the car been paid off.
The car is what I wanted. Yeah. The car is what I loved.
Yeah.
I don't care what these shorts look like.
Right.
I remember one time in my 20s, I didn't have much money. You know, I was just a little Hertz girl. And went and bought all these random accessories for my car. Just got the car, was excited. I just went, and it was like there was no budget in mind. There was no amount said I was going to spend. I was just going to get every glitzy, glammy thing for this car. And then the end of that pay period came. And I was like, man,
I ain't got nothing.
I'm looking at this car on the inside, and it's glitzy, glammy. Now I'm thinking like, Ebony, you just went into the store with no budget. You just went in and just bought stuff. Huh?
Yeah.
Because, you know, now in your career, you're in your 30s. It may not be, your budget may not be as tight as it was in your 20s. It may be. But even if that's the case, I don't know. I'm just a big proponent of budgeting and saving and setting a plan for yourself.
And I don't like for people to think that a budget is restrictive.
No.
A budget is what you can afford, what you make it for your lifestyle.
Yeah.
It's not restrictive unless it needs to be or unless you want it to be.
Right.
If you're working towards buying a house, of course your budget's going to be more restrictive.
Right.
But if you are just maintaining and going to your day to day, it may not be as restrictive, especially, you know what I'm saying? Like when you plan out trips and all kinds of stuff, because I like to put my money towards travel, because that's what I love travel. So in my budget, you know, it's a little tight on some things, but on my travel expenses, it ain't that tight.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I get.
Because that's the other thing. I think, like, you have to also make sure that your priorities are in order, right? So if travel is a priority for you and that's something that you want to do, then that might mean that you can't eat out this week. Yeah. Because that money that you would have spent on that has to go to that priority and saving for that, so that when you go on your trip, you don't have no worries because you're going to be living your best life and having a great time.
Okay.
But 20-year-old self may have been like,
no, 20-year-old self, 20-year-old me could not even think. Like, I didn't even think about travel. I can't do that.
Yeah, you get up to the trip and be like, oh my God, I have to buy a flight.
We used to go on road trips and all kinds of stuff. We used to think we was doing something, honey.
Yeah.
And then come back to campus. So that is not realistic. That is not real life. Living on campus is not the same as
living in real life.
Living in an apartment, a house.
Well, because, you know, the school, you paid your room and board, baby.
Yeah.
And in a lot of schools, your meal plan too.
Yeah.
So you had somewhere where you could eat for real, and, you know, You gotta wait till the cafeteria open up, but you be all right. But in the real world, sweetheart,
that's not real life.
The grocer doesn't care that you hungry. You better have the money.
You don't got no credit.
You don't have right. It's not a I got you next time kind of situation.
It's not 70-30. I ain't paying 30.
Right. No, you're going to pay 100% or you're going to be hungry. So I just also feel like, just in reflecting on like the stuff that we went through in our 20s, I just also, I know you mentioned like the discipline, but I think also it's important to remember to give yourself grace.
Oh, yes.
Because in my 20s, and not to say that I'm perfect at it now, it's something that I've definitely, I say, have gotten further than I did when I was in my 20s, because it was something that I could acknowledge that needed to change because I went through it in my 20s. It's like I would make a mistake and I would beat myself up about it so bad. But then if one of y'all made that same mistake, I would literally pour into you. It's okay. You're learning from it. You're going to figure it out. There are things that I did in my 20s that I regret that I just recently have forgiven myself for.
Yeah.
And I'm a whole different person from that girl. If you knew me in my 20s, baby, and that was the last time you knew me, you have no idea who I am. You have no idea who I am.
Leaps and bounds.
I barely know who that girl is.
Leaps and bounds. I look at us now and I be like, even when we reminisce sometimes, I be like,
yes, there have been times where I be chatting with a friend from back then and they'll bring up something about me.
And I'm like,
yep, I had forgot that. I had blocked that out my memory. But I do know what you're talking about. I was tripping.
But I know
because I'm not her anymore.
And I know I always get corny about it, but it's really true. I really am so proud of my friends and the women that they've become. I say that to everyone because the people that we were, just the people we were in high school,
girl,
and the women we are now.
But that's the thing. That's the evolution of a person. It's the person that I wasn't when I was in high school is not the person I was in my 20s, and it's definitely not the person who I am now. And God willing, it won't be the person I'm in my 40s and 50s and 60s. I plan to continue to grow and learn and evolve and mature and really dig deep into who I am, who I want to be, what I like, what I don't like, and also giving myself permission to change. Because dang, like, why do my expectations have to change? The world changes from decade to decade. Why can't I change? And you get more information, more knowledge, and so you have new insight and change your thoughts, feelings, ideas, personality traits. Like all of that can change, and that's okay. And there will be people in your life who make you feel like you can't.
It used to really bother me. I was just about to say, it used to really bother me when people would not allow me to be the person that I am now.
Yeah, because they're holding on to who you used to be.
Holding on to whomever she was, unhinged and all.
Okay.
Let her go.
Yeah.
Because that's not who we are now.
And you got to watch them type of people because sometimes they want you to stay there because that person made them feel better.
Yeah. Or God, I really hate a person who is like, and you are this and you are that. And I'm like,
you have to be careful. People in your 20s that don't want to see you win in your 30s, let them go. People that are still holding you down, let them go. People still putting you in a box, let them go.
Well, sometimes it's people, they are still in a box.
Yeah.
Because because you evolved and you are now walking into your 30s as a new woman, there are still people walking into their 30s like they are 20.
And
so it's not for everybody, but for the people who do get the evolve in the come up of 30s. Because I don't know if it was like that for y'all, but it was like that for me. Like, I feel like not necessarily my 30s changed me, but I feel like I'm in a new era. It is a time for change. It is a time for metamorphosis. You know, every 5 years, I feel like I go through a metamorphosis of the person that I am.
When I'm saying let them go, I really mean more like recognize who they are. You know, because it's like sometimes letting them go for me means I just have to feed you with a long handle spoon. Or letting go just means like, I can't let you box me in anymore. I'm sorry.
I'm not that person anymore. And when I'm around you, I can feel myself slipping into that person because that's what was comfortable. We were those people together. And so now I'm around you and I'm like saying things or starting to like almost like regress back to, and I can't have that because you messing with my progress. So I have to keep full steam ahead. So love you so much from over there, but I got to keep pushing because this is for me. We are all living individual lives, and though we love and live within community, I got to make sure that I'm good because I can't put your mask on if mine ain't on first.
Okay.
It's important to, I think, notice those feelings too when they start bubbling up around people that, you know, bring you back to that place, make you feel small, make you feel like you can't change. Notice those feelings within yourself. You know, sometimes we wonder why we're agitated or why
that's
we're
that
upset.
reflection again, though, because it is important. So I would say another lesson that I learned in my 30s, when stuff like that would come, I would just kind of slip and give into it. Versus now, when I feel it, I always go back to my quiet place and I be like, okay, what's up? I have a, you know, like a self check in, like what's up? What is that? Why we angry? Why we mad? Why we frustrated? What is it that have us feeling some type of way?
Yeah.
Like it's really hard. It's really hard. I hate that.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's a difficult thing to kind of navigate, especially depending on who the person is, right? Because I won't name who it is, but I have people in my family who have flat out told me, you always gonna be a little girl to me. Except I'm not. And I haven't been a little girl in a long time. I'm grown with my own family now. I'm a big woman. I got this big age behind me. I can't have you still trying to put me in this 5-year-old box because that's where I am in your mind forever and ever. And so it sometimes does cause some type of distance, or sometimes it comes like, okay, now this situation has arisen, I got to check you on it because I'm not little no more.
I think in your 20s people still see like you as this child changing, growing, and morphing. So when you hit 30, sometimes they don't recognize and they're still talking to you like you're a child or you're a kid or you haven't had life experiences yet. And it's like there's so much self-correction I have to do sometimes with people. Don't speak to me any sort of way.
Right.
I would appreciate if you don't speak to me like that, or I would appreciate, you know, if we could have a adult conversation. You know, and those conversations aren't easy, but sometimes you just have to correct people.
But that's the growth.
Well, it's hard to try and necessarily change somebody's mind about who you are now when they are set in who they think you are. So sometimes it's not even a fight for me.
No.
I will be like, okay.
Yeah.
And I will move accordingly.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Every conversation don't have to be a conversation.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's good.
Like,
because that's part of that, like,
I understand that you still feel that way, and I'm going to let you have it, but I'm also going to operate in the woman that I am.
That part. I'm not going to allow you to bring me back to where you feel like where
you're comfortable.
Where you're comfortable because you don't understand who I am now. And that's okay. It brings back to the point of, it's not my responsibility how you feel about me.
Yep.
I'm still gonna operate within the way that makes me comfortable and putting the life lessons that I have learned into practice. Yeah. Because if I'm a firm believer that if you keep going through the same type of thing, that means you ain't learned the lesson yet.
Right. If you're stuck in that cycle, you
ain't learned it.
You gotta figure out
and you're gonna continue to be in that cycle until you learn that lesson and you apply the things that the lessons that you learned from that situation.
And sometimes you have to leave people where they are.
Yeah.
You leave them. You don't have to stop loving them. You don't have to stop dealing with them, but you do have to leave them where they are and decide what fight is worth fighting for you. Yeah. That's a big one.
I really feel like
I don't fight every fight anymore.
Everything used to have to be a fight. Every single thing. And now it's like, actually, that situation doesn't deserve my energy. No. I'm going to preserve that for something that does.
I feel like God just put on my heart that, like, sometimes you're going to mature past the people in your life.
Yes.
And that is okay.
It's not a failure.
It's not a failure.
It used to feel like it.
Yeah, just because you are in this place of maturity that some of your, people that raised you, they're not even there yet. You know.
Can we talk about the surpassing of your parents?
Girl.
Can we talk about the surpassing of your parents? When I was in my 20s, I always thought that my parents just
They knew everything.
Knew it.
The highest pedestal. Up there on the highest
I just
pedestal.
thought they knew it. And I just thought, you know, sometimes when they actions, that's why I didn't understand their actions and I couldn't forgive them. I would be like, I don't understand because you're an adult. So you should know this, and this. And you should be able to put it all into motion. But as I have gotten older and I have surpassed them in some places, which is no shade.
No.
Which is no shade because they were doing what they had with their tools.
Yep.
Right.
But I have surpassed them in certain aspects. And I can tell, even in conversation. And I still love them.
It's the revelation that they're human.
But I also feel like you should want for your children to surpass you.
Absolutely.
That should be the goal.
In everything.
Yeah.
Tell them to surpass you. You know what? Maybe I was a mediocre parent, but you can be a great one. Maybe I was mediocre in my finances, but you could be a whiz. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want for my children. I want them to surpass me.
Yeah.
You know, if I become a millionaire, I need them to be billionaires.
That right.
My mom
Take
actually
it and
loved
run.
those conversations. When I had those conversations specifically about money,
Yeah.
she loves those. Like when I start going on these tangents about investing and stocks, and she's like, "Oh, let's talk more about it," because she just didn't have those type of conversations.
We have different tools available to us that our parents did not have
At all.
available to them at the same time frame where we are now.
Yes.
Yeah.
So like I just sometimes think back to like, okay, I'm 32. What were my parents doing when they were 32? And what had happened in their life to build up to that? It looks very different.
It does.
And so it is an honor for me to try to bring them to what I have learned. And there are some things that it's just like they're absolutely open to and wanting to learn. And then there are other things that's just like, nope, that's not how it was when I was growing up. I'm not listening to that. And you know what? That's fine too, because like we said before, everybody grows at different paces.
They do.
And I will say there are some things that I never thought that would come to the forefront or never come to be able to be a conversation that have been.
Right.
And there are things that it's just like, well, I thought we'd always be able to talk about this, and it's just something that's just like, no, we're just gonna leave that where it is, because you have to go at each individual person's pace, but that doesn't mean that it has to hinder your growth.
And it doesn't.
You keep going,
right,
and you have them meet you where they can. You don't have to meet them there. They meet you where you can at the same point.
Amen.
But you don't have to stifle your growth or feel like your growth is not good or positive
or threatening,
because it's not. It's my individual journey. Everybody's life is their own individual journey. And it's so important to see that progress as it goes, to be able to see that I started here and these mistakes that I made in my high school years, okay, now I'm taking them into my 20s, the life lessons and the baggage.
Yep.
You taking all of that into your 20s, and you do that same cycle in your 20s, and now we're taking it into the 30s. And a lot of times when you can grow and learn from your mistakes, you can drop off some of that baggage.
Yep.
Because now I've learned how to deal with that in the right way, in the more healthy way, and I'm not doing things to sabotage myself or to hurt myself. I am growing and figuring out a way to progress in a positive way, and people can see that light.
They can.
And you can feel that light.
Yes.
You can feel it.
And you will attract people
like-minded people
who are on that similar journey. And
I love it when people say they can see the light in you. Like when people say that, like, oh, I feel your aura, or I feel your spirit. Like that's a beautiful thing, and it means something, because it means that your spirit is connected with their spirit.
Yeah.
You know, and you just have to recognize that and walk in there sometimes, or your spirit is giving them what their spirit needs.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, it's really important to recognize.
I really enjoy the shedding of baggage that I carried in my 20s.
Yes.
Because when I say I carried childhood traumas, I carried my own traumas that I put in. I carried just baggage.
Yeah.
Emotional baggage. So much baggage. And in my 30s, I have granted myself grace.
Yes.
To put some of that stuff down.
Yep.
And, you know, some things will never change no matter what you do. And I have also accepted them and been like, okay.
Acceptance is so big.
Okay.
It is.
It's so huge.
It's all right.
Yep. It's not perfect, and that's okay. I accept it.
Yeah.
I am who I am at this moment. And I get to love her. And I get to help her grow even more. I enjoy growth.
Yes.
I enjoy the putting down of baggage. I enjoy letting people be who they are. Because I think in my 20s, I was always trying to mold people.
Ooh, girls.
To be my expectation of them.
Yep.
Instead of allowing them to be them. Even my parents.
Everybody.
I have forgiven them wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
And I know they probably like, well, you had a great childhood. Yeah, to you, and in many ways, yes,
right.
But there are things that I felt that are okay. My truth and their truth can coincide at the same time.
Duality.
It can coincide at the same time. And I have given myself grace and the permission to say, yes, that hurt me, but I don't have to stay there.
Right.
Yes, that hurt me, but I don't have to deal with that. You do not get to dictate. I am grown.
Right.
So now you don't get to dictate you know what I'm saying? What I say, what I do, how I feel. Because a lot of the time I felt stifled. I felt like people constantly had their expectations for me, and then when I didn't live up to them or I didn't do exactly what they said, it was kind of like, oh, you're bad. You're bad. You just don't want to do anything. You're lazy, or you're this, or you're that. And it wasn't that. It was the fact that I needed,
you have to go on your own journey
to pour into me.
Yep. And
stop concerning myself with everybody else's plan for me. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. 1,000,000%. I agree with all of that. So, what do you think are some things that you did in your 20s that you would never do in your 30s now that you have grown and learned all those lessons?
Plenty.
Do we have enough time?
Can we talk about the relationships that I was in?
Ooh.
Because I would not... At the woman that I am now, I would never walk into those relationships. I would never even consider those men. They would not be somebody who I felt like I could see a future with.
Yeah. Like, I agree with that. There's 2 relationships in particular that come to mind when you started saying that. That is just like, in my 30s, baby... First of all,
what was I thinking, G? What was I thinking?
20-year-old Mandy, baby, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry because there were big red flags from day one.
No beige flags. All red.
Yeah, they were all red, bright red, and multiple of them.
Oh
and I used to, and this is something that I dropped in my 20s, I used to excuse away people's behavior.
Oh, yeah.
Because they wouldn't do it to hurt me, so it's because they're going through this, or, well, maybe they just didn't know any better. And I don't excuse away people's behavior. People's behavior is their behavior.
Yeah.
And whether their intent was malicious or not, it still hurt me. I'm still validated in my feeling of being hurt in that moment. It's still okay to be hurt. And because you continue to do this and have this cycle, how about you don't have access to me anymore? I was way too forgiving to people that did not deserve forgiveness, specifically in relationship. Specifically with a partner. There was way too much that I let slide. And not necessarily, because to my knowledge, it was never like another woman or anything like that. It was always about the way you treated me. That I would just be like, well, it's okay. It's fine. I'll deal with it. Whereas in my 30s, we're going to need to address this because I don't like the way that I'm being treated, and you're going to hear about it, and you're going to hear about it until some concrete effort has been made to change it.
You know what? In my teens, I took absolutely nothing. When I say you couldn't do anything, if I saw you look like you wanted to talk to another woman or something, choose her. Bye. In my early 20s, I took it into my early 20s after I had my daughter. I got this complex about giving people grace because of how I felt. And I would accept and accept and accept and accept so many things because I felt some type of way. And then in my 30s, I gave myself permission again to say no.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
No. I don't accept that.
Yeah.
Don't deserve that. Don't want that. No. No to that. No to this. You will see me on my terms or you won't see me at all. Like, I really feel like I took a control back over my life that I had let go of, which is crazy to have so much control in your teens. Not in all aspects, don't get me wrong. I would completely spaz about these things. I wouldn't handle them in the right way. I would completely spaz. I'd be like, oh, you we about to fight back.
Right.
Like, we got domestic violence over here.
God.
But as I got older, as I am now in my 30s, that is absolutely not acceptable to me. If I ever feel like I have to put my hands on you, we have gone too far, and this is probably not something that I'm finna stay in because it's too much. And I have decided what my priorities are. I have decided what I will carry around and what I will not.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What about you, Ed?
I really think for myself, I was trying to think of how to say it, but I think the easiest way to say it is that your friendships, as you grow, will sometimes exude jealousy because of immaturity. And I think when you're in your 20s, you see that a lot because you all are arriving in different places at different times.
Yeah. Right.
It's okay to shed some people at that time if it's okay. If life brings them back around later in life for you, or you all reconnect and the stars align, it's okay. It's okay for that to happen. That's happened. And I'm thankful for those opportunities. It's happened where the stars have not aligned as well, and I'm okay with that too. But I think that in my 20s there were a lot of challenges, but there were also a lot of wins. And there were a lot of things I was proud of, a lot of accomplishments that were happening. And some people just could not stand with me and be happy with me.
Well,
and
God will separate you sometimes.
He will separate you, and I was happy that it kind of aligned like he did, but it was still at the time I didn't see why it was happening that way. But now in my 30s, I see why it was happening, and it felt like at the time, like, man, I'm losing a friend, like because of some things that I've done that I had no control of. I'm just around here living life, So I think that it's when I was if you're in your 20s or any phase of life, just know that sometimes you might lose or shed people because of sometimes people are not ready to be happy with you. It's really unfortunate. We don't really condone friendships like that, but I just know that maturity takes time. So.
And I'll say that I'm gonna be fully transparent. I've been that friend before, where it's like I can't be happy for you in the way that I want to because I am so sad for me because I want that so bad, particularly to have a child. Y'all know I struggled with fertility for a long time before we had our son, and it was painful for me to watch other people be able to go through that process and have a positive experience when I was trying so hard and wanted it so badly that I couldn't. And that was something that I went through in my 20s. And so it was really hard. And we had a lot of friends that had babies in their 20s effortlessly, just like touched each other, pop pregnant. Right. And it's just like, I'm doing everything. I don't know why it's not working, but it's not working. And it was hard for me to be happy in the way that I wanted to be. Y'all know, I want to be the cheerleader. I want to be there and support and all of that, but I couldn't be. I couldn't. I knew myself. And so there were people that I had to distance myself from. Not that you did anything wrong, but I know me. I know my capacity right now, and I know where I am in with this particular situation, and I need to back up.
Yeah, but that's not necessarily jealousy, though.
That's mature in my.
It actually, honestly, is to take yourself out of the situation instead of berating them or finding a way to dampen their parade just because you can't. You know what I'm saying?
I look at it as jealousy because as your friend, I felt and still kind of feel I should be there, but I know that I will get there and I will paint on the biggest smile that I can, and I don't know how long that's gonna last.
Well, here's the thing though. In a friendship, in all your friendships, you can't be everything to everybody, right? And sometimes it's just not your place. It's not, because I suffered with some depression, some isolation. Same. I don't even know if it was jealousy, because I wasn't jealous, but I ended up having a special needs child. So it was a lot that I had to kind of deal with that you don't realize comes along with a special needs child. I have a unique journey, and there was not a lot of people around me
that experience
who can experience and that journey and know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about that journey. So I did distance. I was a little depressed. I did look at people and be like, y'all get to have such a great time with it, and I did not have that great time. So it feels some type of way. But I'm not jealous. I'm happy for you.
Yeah.
I'm just sad for me, and I'm just, I'm a little upset.
Yeah.
Even now, it's still kind of, sometimes when I see certain things, I be like, and why don't I get to have that? It's not that I'm jealous of you, because I love that you get to have it.
Yeah.
But for me, it was just like, Lord, I did a lot. My relationship with God in my 20s and my relationship with God in my 30s was completely different, because I was very, very angry with God. I was very, ancestors, angels, everybody. I was angry with all of them, because I was like, why me? Why me? Why I got to do this? And people be like, you're gonna have a testimony. Who asked you for that?
Yeah, I didn't say I wanted that.
And that's not the verbiage to say to anyone. I mean,
people, they were trying
to be encouraging.
They were using the tools that they had to try and push through, once again, this situation that they don't really comprehend.
Yeah.
They can conceptualize it. They can see, I can see how that would be disappointing.
But it's
I can
different
see
than
how
being
that would be
in it.
hard. Yeah, it's different than having this particular situation and going through it as a single parent.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's even different as going through it with two parents. But as a single parent, it's a lot. You watching other people and you're like, I could use a little help over here.
Yeah.
But when other people are going through their lives as well, because that would be the part that would kind of annoy me, is I would be like, why can't y'all see me? Why can't y'all see that I'm depressed? Why can't y'all see that I'm sad? Why can't y'all see that this is hard for me?
Yeah.
I did a lot of forgiving to get to the point that I'm at, because it wasn't nobody's fault.
Yeah.
It's
okay. It's okay, friend.
It's okay. It's still
Yeah.
to just move through life and take the accountability, try to grow up, try to be somebody who you can be proud of. It is hard.
Yeah.
And I don't want people to hear us and be like, oh my God, y'all just didn't got there.
No.
Baby, it is a struggle all the time, but I wouldn't change it for the world.
Right.
I love the woman who I have become and who I have morphed into, and the grace that I have been able to have for other people.
Yes.
Who may not necessarily known, you know what I'm saying? Because it wasn't like I was telling everybody,
right?
But it was like
it would be clear to me. Why isn't it clear to you?
Like, God. Yes. But I learned to stop putting up such a mask for other people and allow myself to be a human being, to be broken, to be vulnerable, so that y'all would know, like, look, I know I look strong, but I get tired.
Yes. I struggle.
I do.
And it's hard, and I cry sometimes, and I'm upset sometimes,
girl,
and I don't want to do this sometimes, and all of that is okay.
It's tired. I don't feel like getting up.
I
don't. I want to lay down, and I don't want y'all to talk to me. And I want the Lord to just put a bubble around me
and keep all of y'all away.
You said something earlier about our relationship with God from our 20s to our 30s, and I mean, let me say this: I have grown up in church my whole life.
Girl, me too.
But God literally showed me. I thought I knew who God was, but when I turned 26, He literally proved to me that He is in my life, and He is. I don't have to get into the scenario, but it's just I just will say I was in a medical situation, and God literally saved my life, and I didn't know, God got you, but does He? It's like when you have those scenarios where God just literally changes the situation for you. I think it proved to me that I owe Him more. So I, the going to church, that is wonderful, and I'm not gonna stop, but I'm just saying that me going to church was great, but me diving into who He was for me,
your personal relationship with God.
This pandemic, let me tell you, it was, in the brink of at the end of my 30s, so it was like me
diving into knowing who he is for myself, you know. And I think that's so important. Whatever deity or God you believe in, I believe in Jesus Christ, you know, my Savior. I just feel like that was important for me to dive deeper into knowing him for myself. It was so important for me to do that. You know, I just don't know how I could have made it through that scenario
For sure.
without him.
For sure.
You know, and he proved to me through myself. He proved to me through my family, through their prayers of healing me. You know, it was so many things I learned about the power of my God during my late 20s, moving into my 30s, that will change the fabric of my relationship with him moving forward. I don't know, I feel like it will change it changed me because it let me see the power that he literally has in my life, and that he has always been there. It was like in that moment I realized all these other moments that he had been there for me, and I didn't even see him there, and I felt so sad that I didn't even see him, that I felt like I owed him my life. You know, gosh, these 30s.
A personal relationship with God is so transcendent.
Yeah.
Because I think I was just so angry that I could not understand why these were the cards that I was dealt.
Yeah.
You know, they always tell you, stop saying why me. Stop saying that. And I could not
stop saying it.
I could not for a long time. I could not. But I had to go to a place of gratitude and start thinking about the things that I did have instead of the lack thereof. Thinking about the things that were going right instead of the things that I don't. You know, thinking about where I could be, because there is always somebody in a worse off situation. And I know it's not, you know, we don't feel like, okay, but they don't take away from mine. But it does put you in a place of gratitude that is not your situation, and you still have a way up and out. You still have avenues to explore. You still are here and can change your life, even if you are homeless. There is a way. There is a way. No matter, you know what I'm saying, no matter what situation you're in, and you could even not believe in God, that's your personal choice, but I hope you believe in something. Because sometimes my relationship with God is what carried me through. It wasn't people, it was God who just
wrapped his arms around you. And
maybe because I'm like, you know, you go to these dark places in your thoughts and your mind, and you like, baby, I'm finna run away. Y'all could keep my stuff. I'm
out of here.
I'm finna run. And just not look back. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
It has only been God who has kept my head on the street.
Girl,
that's for sure.
For sure. Yes, glory be to God.
Okay, amen.
Okay, well, I feel like we've tackled some really good topics today in regards to reflecting of our 20s, growing into our 30s, being the woman that we want to be. Even if we're not there 100% yet, we are on our way. Life is a journey.
Okay.
And it don't stop at 30. I know some of you youngins might think that 30 is old or 30 is it, but it's really not. I honestly feel like I just am waking up. I feel like I'm just waking up to who I want to be in this world and how I want to be in this world.
If you could give a piece of advice to the young folks,
I would say love yourself. Even as you're growing. You deserve that. And other people loving on you while you're growing isn't enough. You got to do it for yourself.
Say that.
Yes.
I used to depend on other people's love
to carry you,
to carry me. And no matter who it is, it can be very fleeting. You know, somebody get upset with you and now you're all consumed with that. But you have to love you truly. Learn you and love you. And then if there are things that you don't like about you, that's okay. Change
you
and
get to
grow.
change them.
You get to decide who you are. Nobody else. You.
Ebony.
I would say my advice is to be proud of yourself. It ties into being love yourself, but be proud of every small thing you did. If it's small, if it's big, it's maybe small to you, but it's big to someone else. You accomplished something, you moved through something, you tackled something, you got through something that you didn't know you were going to be able to get through.
take a moment and reflect it and be proud of yourself, and don't let anybody take that moment away from you. If they take it away from you, you move out of that space with them, and you find a space where you can relish in being proud of yourself.
Even if it's by yourself.
That's some of the best time to be proud of yourself, is by yourself, because can't nobody take it away from you then.
That's right. I love that. Sia?
I would say make a plan. And be flexible about your plan. Make a plan. Look at your life and say, in 5 years, I would like to be here. In 10 years, I would like to be here. Whatever that is. You could be a professional can kicker, a stripper, a lawyer, whatever.
Child,
I'm serious. Hey, long as you're the best can kicker out there, baby.
All right now.
Your gift will make room for you. You will make money if you are using your gift. If God gave you can kicking, maybe can kick it. But I'm saying make a plan and be flexible about your plan. Be passionate about the things that you do. If you don't like it, your 20s, your early stages, them is the times to pivot. If you get in law school and you hate law school,
do something else.
Pick something else. I know it's a lot of money, and I know it sounds like, oh, she's just fanciful. No, be flexible about your plan. I'm telling you, I didn't really have a plan in my 20s, and if I did have those goals that I was working for, I wouldn't have been in certain situations because they wouldn't have aligned with my plan. I would have already had, if y'all think about it, like even when we come into this, we make an outline because we want to go somewhere with it.
Right.
If we came in here and just jumbled it all together, it would be a hodgepodge of hot mess.
Yeah.
Have a plan and be flexible about your plan. Be able to pivot. Matter of fact, have 2 or 3 plans.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Have an ABC.
Because it's not singular. Life is not singular.
Oh my gosh.
And it's layered. You can do 2 things at one time.
Yes.
Just,
or you might do this thing first and then these other 2 things together at the second time.
And sometimes opportunities will open up.
Yeah.
If you know where you're going.
Right.
If you know what you're looking at, certain opportunities, doors will open, and pray about it. I cannot say it enough. Pray about it, meditate about it. Be about your plan. Not so rigid that it's all consuming, but rigid enough that if somebody is like, well, let's just fuck off for a year, you like, let's not. Let's do a little something else. Because I'm telling you, it's the framework for the next 10 years. Like my 20s definitely set up my 30s. So now I'm in my 30s trying to
set up for
clean
them 40s.
Them 20s, you know, the mistakes from them 20s. And set my framework for what my life looks like in my 40s. Have a plan, y'all.
All right. I love that advice. So, something a little light and fun. If we have a song that you would want to bring into your 20s. So your 30s, excuse me. 20s is gone. But we're all already in our 30s. But what is a song that is representative of where you are in your 30s and where you hope to be? Ev, you want to go first?
Yes, I do. I have 2.
Okay.
I have 2. My first one is Closer by Guape.
Yes, love that song.
And I just love it because she just says over and over again, I'm just getting closer to my dreams. That's just how I felt going into my 20s, like leaving my 20s and jumping in my 30s. I just felt like that. And then the second one is Bigger by Beyonce.
Yes.
I just thought of that as we were speaking, and it's just like, she just says like, I'm just a speck in the universe. Like, and that's how I feel, but I have the song talks about your purpose,
right,
and finding your purpose. And I think that when I think about my job and my purpose, they're 2 different things. And I think that it took me to get through my 20s to realize that, you know, that my purpose is nowhere near aligned to what my job is. I do a great job with my job, but it's not tied to my purpose. And I love that God has a bigger purpose for me than just what I do from my 9 to 5.
Yes, so. I love that song. That actually, the first time I ever heard that song, I cried.
Yes.
I literally, because I was listening to the words, and it really did touch me, because it felt like she was talking directly to me.
Yes.
And it was just like, oh, okay. Yep.
You know, it don't take much. I already think Beyonce talking directly to me most of the time, so it doesn't take much.
That's fair. Okay, well, my song is Good Morning Gorgeous by Mary J. Blige.
Tell yourself.
Listen, because I have to do that.
Yes.
Some people will look at where I am in my life and think all of these very positive things that I don't necessarily look at my life and think. And so I have to, and I've also kind of, like we talked about earlier, have geared away from I'm still working on not depending on other people pouring into me. I have to do it for myself. And I feel like that's what that song is very much talking about. It's just, I'm telling myself no matter what. And I'm not talking about when I'm done up and, hair is done, lashes done, and got the cute new outfit on. I'm talking about when I wake up and I just see me. Good morning, gorgeous. And that I'm loving on me, because it's so important. I did not do that enough in my 20s. So I am definitely making that a priority to do in my 30s.
I know that's right.
What about you, Sia?
Okay, so my one that kind of make me cry is "The Rise Up" by Andre
Oh,
Day.
yes.
And I really love that. I really love that song. I'm like,
I forgot about that song.
I love that song.
And then my other one is "Bad Bitch Energy."
Yes.
by Savannah Christina.
Come on,
Yes.
girl. I love that song.
I really love that song. That is like my get ready song.
Yeah.
That is like, yes.
I think I sing that song almost every day.
I'm in that energy. Like, I don't want nobody to call me a B-word, but I'm in that.
Yeah.
I'm in that energy.
Right.
She be like, I'm that girl.
Yep.
Been that bitch. Yeah, I know it.
Sometimes you gotta remind yourself.
You do though.
Yeah.
You do though. You do have to be like the driving factor behind you.
Be your biggest cheerleader.
Yeah, if nobody else thinks you great, you have to think you're great. Okay.
That part. All right. That was a beautiful convo, ladies.
Yes.
I love that. Vulnerability, transparency. It was beautiful.
Yeah. I love you guys.
I love you too. And we love y'all out there too. And we appreciate y'all supporting us. We're going to take a break and we'll be right back.
All right.
All right, y'all. It's about that time to affirm ourselves. It's time for our affirmation of the day.
It is. And the affirmation of the day speaks to the little black girl inside all of us. So it's called Dear Little Black Girl. And it goes like this. Your skin is beautiful.
Your skin is beautiful.
Your voice does matter.
Your voice does matter.
You light up a room.
You light up a room.
I am so proud of you.
I am so proud of you.
It's going to be okay.
It's gonna be okay.
I'm here for you.
I'm here for you.
And I love you.
And I love you. That was that did speak to my inner little black girl. I love that.
Oh, I'm going to have to repeat that one.
The affirmation of the week. I'm going to keep up with that.
I love that.
Yeah, we hope that you can carry that with you through the week and tell a little black girl that affirmation too.
Yes.
All right. Ladies, on that note, stay opinionated.
Stay opinionated.
Stay opinionated. Hey y'all, we just want to remind you that you can listen to each episode on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and YouTube. Search Black Women with Opinions and make sure to subscribe and click that share button. You can follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Black Women with Opinions Podcast. You can follow us on TikTok and X, formerly known as Twitter, at BWWO Podcast. And lastly, make sure to subscribe to our Patreon at Black Women with Opinions Podcast. Thank you for your support. We appreciate it so much. We love you and stay opinionated.